Is that our future? Is that what we're slowly getting to? Like the brain's just getting keep. Those are rams, right? I thought they had horns.
Honestly, I'm not really sure.
Caudle?
Caudle.
Yep.
Caudle.
Yep.
Caudle.
Not Caudel.
No.
Nope.
Caudilli. Caudile.
That's what your wife.
My
Calls
wife's name
herself?
is Gidley, so my mom calls us the Caudidleys.
Caudidleys, huh? I like that. I'm gonna play. I got a nice new little Caudidley coming out today. Hashtag Caudidley.
We
Right?
had one 2 years ago. Yes.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
A hashtag trend going for that, or what?
Child.
A child.
Oh.
Our little Caudidley. Yeah.
Oh, you got a little Caudidley, huh?
Our little Caudidley.
No little Caudidleys for you.
Nope,
Nope.
not yet.
How old's the little Caudidley?
2.
2?
2 years
I
old.
got a 2 and a 4-year-old too. She a terror yet? She or he?
She.
She?
Yeah.
Wow, I got that right.
Kind of.
Terror?
She's sweet. She has her moments. But
Moments.
She's really sweet. Yeah. Really smart. And I think I'm saying that because it's my kid, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, she's recently figured out how to get out of the bathtub. So if we're not watching her, she'll just get out and then run around the house naked now.
Oh yeah, that's
So-
the best part. Yeah, every time they get out, they got to run around the house naked.
And of course, there's water everywhere now. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's fun.
I remember doing that as a kid though too. Though I fucking as soon as I got out of the bath, like I want to run naked. I'm free.
Yeah.
Put the towel around the back like a cape, and I'm running free now.
We do keep our house considerably cool though.
Do you?
So at
Is
some
that
point she gets
your
cold,
choice or hers?
Both.
What's your thermostat set at?
Usually 67, 68.
67? That's about what
I
ours
think
is.
I'm a little less than that.
Are you?
But I'm on a 3rd floor apartment, so like everything rises.
You gotta eat that mic, remember?
That's right.
Eat it.
Or bring it back to you. I don't care. Just might be up in that bag. What did you say yours is at?
I'm on a 3rd floor apartment, so
Oh.
I keep mine like 65 or below because it just
All the
gets
heat
hot as
rises.
hell. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the advantage of being.
We did that because Michigan's just always cold, but maybe 3 months of the year.
Right.
So we barely
We
ever-
got like 3 good months.
Yeah. June, July, August. and
I
that's
don't
it.
know, man. The way like this winter's progressed, where we like didn't even have any snow. We had like what 1 day of snow or 2 in
Pretty
December,
much. Yeah.
and then it's like January now. February's really cold. I don't remember it being like this when I was a kid.
I remember certain years where there'd be almost no snow. Like you'd go all year, maybe a snowstorm or 2, and then after that, just like sloppy, muddy, shitty, dirty shoes, dirty car.
Yeah.
I do think these last few years have been the only years where I like remember not having snow on Christmas.
Yeah.
And that's how I basically relate all of my winters is whether there's snow on the ground for Christmas.
Right.
And these are the only ones that I've remembered where there's
It always seemed like it at least come through in the clutch. You get
Yeah,
a dusting
yeah.
or something the night or two
You
before.
get a nice December 24th snowstorm
Yup.
or something. And
Yeah.
then it maybe melt in January and then come back in February. But yeah, there
It's
was
like-
something.
We're not having that time where you can enjoy the outside with the snow. It's just snow and bitter fucking cold. Fuck you.
I hate it.
I hate it
But I
too.
can't get away from it. Like, this is my home,
Right.
and I'm just acclimated to it.
I wish I could say the same.
I love
I
Michigan.
still fucking hate it. I'm just like, ugh. But you know, I'm trying to embrace it. We're building up our gear. We're gonna start doing some winter camping.
Me and
That's always awesome.
me and my wife before we got married for Valentine's Day went up to a hotel in Traverse, and it was in the corner of the hotel, and you could see over Lake Michigan, and there was so much snow on the ground you could see the trails from the ice fishers going out over Lake Michigan, and that was a really cool view. I think one of the coolest winter views I've had in Michigan.
Have you guys ever done that ice fishing?
When I was younger,
Yeah, we used to go with our uncle, I think.
all they would do is get hammered.
Dude, I know. That's what it was like for me too.
And we were
Like
never
my
catch
dad wasn't
fish.
into that shit, so I'd have to go with the uncles.
And it like wasn't until I was older I realized like this fishing stuff's bullshit. Like they just came here to get away from people and drink Strohs and crappy beer and act like they're fishing. They ain't catching shit.
I'd end up like the one time I ended up because I was the kid that fucking I didn't want to touch the fish. I didn't want to, because nobody like took me and like this is what you do, So I didn't want to touch. Well, I was the one that ended up with a fish in my pants. Here comes Grandpa. It's supposed to be Grandpa, and like no, here fish, boop, and then here I am running around trying because I won't touch the fish. He knows I won't touch the fish, so I ain't gonna get it out. So now I'm running around like get the fish out.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
We had an uncle who had a man-made pond on his property, so we'd catch like
And he put
stuff,
like a
and-
population of fish in there.
Yeah, and then we would
Okay.
catch them and stuff, and that's like when we'd get used to fish.
Right.
Still, they'd like spaz out, and their fins would slice my fingers.
Right.
open.
Yeah, you should still have a glove, like a nice grippy glove, because they're slippery as fuck too. A fish
Yeah.
obviously lives in water. It's slippery.
And at no point have I ever been fishing and had a glove on me
Right.
for actually carrying the fish. It's always just bare palmed.
Yep.
See, I don't know. I just like if I'm like out camping or something, fishing would probably be fun, but I just don't know about getting up to go sit and wait for a fish.
The idea of fishing always sounds good to me. And then when it comes to whether I have the chance to go fishing or not, it's like I would just rather not do anything. Like,
That's so true.
because like he said, fishing is like an excuse to get away from people. And it's like, why can't I just get away from people and not be on a boat in the middle of the lake?
Exactly. At
Get
like
out of my house.
Yeah.
yeah, at like 5:30 in the morning,
Yeah,
you're waiting.
exactly.
Because you always have to go early. Same thing with hunting too. You got to be.
Deer camp. It
Yeah.
was basically, you'd go there, everyone would be fucked up, hammered.
Pull that mic back to you.
Oh, yeah,
If
there
you
we
want
go.
to be more comfortable, yeah, just talk right into it like this.
The adults would get all hammered, like always, and then we'd go out early as hell. Somehow they were conscious and not see anything, but freeze our ass off, and then go back, repeat process. It was like 3 days of it, and they're just like loving life.
Yeah, I never went to a deer camp. No, it was my grandpa again. We would just walk out to these woods, that was behind my uncle's house, and it was no blinds, no nothing, just sit behind a log and shut up.
Sounds like the back of Aunt Lou's house,
Yeah.
where you can just see deer run across the backyard.
He puts a bait pile back there and
Yeah.
maybe snacks
Oh, bait
one off.
pile? Yeah. That's going to definitely up your success rates.
Yeah.
We weren't successful. We just sat behind a log for hours, and I couldn't talk.
Didn't do it.
Oh, this is fun. Great bonding time. We can't even talk.
Maybe when you're 65,
Yeah.
we'll get it.
Maybe
Where
I'll
did you grow up?
maybe I'll pick it up. Huh?
Where did you grow up?
I was born right down the street here in Holland
Okay.
and lived here until 8th grade. I completed 8th grade, about to go to high school. Well, no, I did 2 months of high school here, and then I moved to Bay City.
Okay.
So over the east side of the state. So that's where I kind of.
I'm only
Did
20
some
minutes
growing
from
up.
Bay City.
Oh, where are you at?
I'm in Birch Run.
Birch Run?
Yep.
Where are you at?
My
Bur-
girlfriend's from Bay
Birch
City.
Run too?
Burton.
Oh, Burton.
Yeah.
See, I thought you guys were Flint area. Which
I'm a little
Burton's-
south of Flint.
Yeah. Burton's more Flint area, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm on the
Yeah.
ass crack.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's from Bay City, so
Oh,
I spent
okay.
a lot of time up there.
Yeah, Bay Shitty.
Bay
I
Shitty.
fucking hate that place.
Yeah, Bay Shitty.
I fucking hate that place. It's a fucking hellhole
They
piece
got
of
a
shit
good-
town.
Tattoo parlor and
Where
a lot
which
of
one?
bars. Electric Chair.
Electric Chair.
Yeah.
Is that the one on Columbus?
I think it's just right on Main Street.
Main Street.
I'm bad with street names. I'm
Oh.
just gonna
Never
say
been
Main
You never been to
Street.
Bay City?
Oh, I've been to Bay City.
Oh,
I haven't
never been to the.
Electric
Oh,
Chair
okay,
yet.
yeah.
Went to Bay City for the 4th of July, I think.
Yeah, the fireworks are. That's about the only
Oh,
thing they
yeah.
got going for them there.
Yeah.
Other than that, fucking hate that place.
A lot of bars.
I will talk shit about that place at the end of time, dude. That fucking town sucks you in and fucking just spits you out. There ain't nothing there for work. It's just a fucking drunk town. That's all it is. I
What
fucking
do you
hate
think
it.
of the smell? Like a lot of people there.
Exactly. See, you got a
smell
sugar
of
beet
Bay
factory.
City.
Yeah,
The
I think
sugar
it
beet.
smells like peanut butter or like
Really?
maybe a rancid peanut
You
butter.
know
but
the
it's not
people.
horrible.
You know the people that live by the sugar beet factory were actually paid a lump sum of money because of that smell. They had to
Because-
like pay them off.
I've heard of places like if you live next to a dump, they will give you like,
Yeah.
cheaper rates. So you
Cheaper
endure
rates
it.
or yeah. See, these houses were already existing before the big chef came in with their sugar beet factory. I think it was the houses first. So they ended up having to just pay them, you know, to where now say they were built after, you could have just sold the houses cheaper or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, we got the Heinz factory right down the street here too. And that will get out a nice pickly smell sometimes. But it's nothing
it
like Bay.
bad?
It can be a little bit, but it's nothing like Bay City and their sugar beets. That shit was like for fucking months on end. And the roads too that these fucking trucks drive down are all pieces of shit roads because they're constantly just and then they're dropping
The
beets off the
bridges.
back of the truck. Yep. So there's like sugar beets just rotting on the sides of the rods.
What do you even do with sugar beets?
you
Fucking
can get some form of
refine
sugar out
them
of
into
them.
sugar.
You can preserve them.
Yeah, preserve beets. Yeah, I've never like ate beets. You can like use them, like cut them up, and I don't know. Like,
Yeah, but I've
John,
never-
look up like a famous sugar beet recipe. Let's just see.
I've never
mean, with
talked to
beets.
someone who likes beets though. So
Right.
I know they exist and I know they
Yeah,
sell
it's-
them, but I've never met someone who buys beets.
I've never like honestly seen one at the grocery store. Where's the beets?
so the
It's-
fact that
Hey,
there's
hey,
a
where's the
plant-
beets?
It's like your grandpa's fruit, vegetables kind of thing.
fruit vegetable?
Fruit vegetable.
I don't
Yeah, is it a fruit or is it a vegetable?
Thought it
think
was
it's
a root.
vegetable. You might be right.
Oh, is it a fruit? Beets.
I
I
should
guess
know
we got to
this.
know that too, John. I don't know.
I should know this. I'm gonna say
With
vegetable.
your endless supply of knowledge.
What is beet sugar? Beet sugar is derived from the sugar beet plant, a root vegetable,
That's right up
closely
there.
related to beet root and chard.
So we're both right. in a
Along
way?
with sugar cane, sugar beets are among the most common plants used in the production of white sugar.
I did say root.
I
I
said
said
vegetable.
root, yeah, so
Put it together.
and you get beets.
It's fucked up.
That's the number one question. Yeah.
Bad sugar.
Is sugar
Yeah.
beet a vegetable?
Oh, yeah.
WTF is sugar beet.
Sugar beet recipes. Yeah, sugar beet
go.
latkes? Latkes?
Ooh. Yeah, those Polish pancakes.
Mm. See
That's
that brown?
also-
See that brown sugar glazed beets? Nah, get that out of here. Nobody want that.
It sounds like a terrible combo.
Glazed beets. Ugh.
It just looks like coagulated blood.
It does, doesn't it?
It's gross.
Yummy.
Oh,
Yep, brown sugar. Yeah. See, I don't know about all those. Just eating the beet.
Yeah, this is very like 1950s food, like what you'd serve to a dinner party.
Hold on, go back. Yeah, do sugar beets taste good? Like, isn't that like kind of like a subjective? Like, it's you that has to. It's your taste buds. Everybody's got different taste buds.
You have to decide.
That's
whether
probably
sugar
my
beets taste
What
good for
like
yourself.
what does sugar beets taste like? A fucking sugar beet? I don't know. Like, isn't that like as far as you can go down? Like what does cake taste like? You could be like, oh well, sugar beets, whatever, flour,
It's fruit cake.
vanilla, all the ingredients. But then you go down to what's a sugar beet taste like? Be like,
That's the end of the line.
it's
Right?
the end of the line, dude. That's the vegetable that we just figured out is a vegetable. So that's the end of that fucking line. But I can't describe what a sugar beet tastes like other than a sugar beet. You gotta
Right,
taste
yeah.
the sugar beet,
It's true.
and then you know what it tastes
Is there
like.
anything else that seems like that? How would you describe peanut butter? Just like
Tastes like
peanuts?
peanuts.
So what would you describe
'Cause it's-
peanuts as? Is that the end of the line, or
A nut.
We can go further.
Yeah. I'm not.
We
Like,
just got here.
yeah. I think that's probably the end of the line for there is peanut. You know, like Reese's. What does a Reese's taste like? Oh, it tastes like peanut
Peanut
butter.
chocolate.
What does peanut butter taste like? It tastes like a peanut. What does a peanut taste like? Sorry, bro. You got to try a peanut.
These nuts.
Uh,
Got him.
got him. Yeah, so that's got to be the underline, I think. And
I wouldn't be able to describe a taste to a deaf or a blind person.
yeah, you
Like
got to
when
describe taste to people.
Yeah.
That's a little euphoric.
What about
there.
a person that can't taste? It's like describing color to not Anne Frank.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
Right? She was deaf and blind, right?
yeah. right.
No.
No?
She is now.
Yes.
But who am I talking about?
Helen Keller.
Helen Keller.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Who'd you
Anne
say?
Frank.
Oh,
is,
Anne Frank.
is the
The
Jewish.
Jewish.
Hey, you
woman.
got me.
Yeah.
Hey, you got me. I was on board. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Anne Frank.
You had me, man.
Helen
Oh,
Keller. Describing colors to Helen Keller.
It's just gone now. Describing colors. Damn Frank. It's pretty dark in that attic.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking
It
too.
was coming. It was bound to happen.
Oh man, that brings me to
It's time for your hot takes. Ooh, spicy.
All right, this is the segment of the show where we list our hot takes of the evening. And first one is, I guess Whoopi Goldberg should be fired, correct?
Sure. I mean, no one watches The View anyway, so
I think they should all they fire the
get
show.
fired.
So that's the hot take for me. What do you think? Have you even heard anything about it?
I see blurbs and articles, but I don't think it's something I'm necessarily intrigued in.
Because she
Right.
said the Holocaust wasn't about race, right?
Yeah.
Is that the
Yeah.
And then they
It was
forced
just
her.
whites on whites.
Yeah.
It was a dumb comment.
It was very dumb. Okay, no, break it down in brass tacks. I don't think she should be fired. But I also don't think they should have fired the other ones that Disney's already fired, like that chick from Mandalorian.
Gina Carano. Yeah.
Yep. And it was about what? The Holocaust. So foot in mouth. Oh, so it's like, now you have one of your other people do it, like, and now you're not gonna fire him.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So-
Hollywood bigwigs.
Yeah.
Because you have to have.
There was
certain-
another one too that they fired for doing something.
for not falling in line.
Yeah. Basically.
Was it
Yeah.
true about the Holocaust?
No.
Or is it separate?
I think it was a separate one, but yeah, or maybe I don't know. I don't know about that one. I know about the Mandalorian
Yeah.
chick, the Gina or whatever. The Gina?
The Gina. The
Is it
Gina.
that what it is? Is that her name?
The Carano.
The Corona? I thought-
The Gina Carano.
Okay, yeah, the Gina Carano.
The
Yeah.
Mandalorian was a good show though.
Was it?
I
didn't watch
liked it a lot.
Are you a Star Wars person?
No.
No, that's probably why.
Yeah, I watched the
wasn't a-
first. I watched the 4, 5, and 6 because those are the ones that came out first.
Right.
Yeah, I watched those.
I
A
wasn't.
New Hope and
Yeah.
then the following two.
I wasn't into Star Wars until I watched The Mandalorian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I was like, "That's kind of cool." And then I felt like
They're not bad films.
I needed to know about the lore, so I started watching through everything
Ah,
chronologically. I'm
right.
like, we got to go through the
Oh.
prequels, and then we got to watch the Clone Wars, and then we got to watch the.
You got to
original
read all the
trilogy.
books.
I'm not
Just-
doing that. I don't read.
Dude, there's so many. There's so many books.
There's
uh,
got to be, right? I mean,
of
they
like
just
backstory
yeah.
stuff on that. Like it goes deep, man.
Too deep.
Deep.
I don't even know where I'd begin. I remember Dad showed us films when I was younger, but
Yeah.
it was just like the original 3 that I can remember. And then I think in junior high 2000 era.
God, creep up on that mic, man. Sorry. God, I want to
Oh,
hear
there we
you.
go.
I want to
There
hear
we
your
go.
beautiful voice.
Thank you. Like pod racing and stuff. And right about there, I fell off. I'm a casual, an extreme casual.
I remember there's a
381
300
books.
Whew.
I don't have
Damn.
enough life.
I have a distinct memory from my childhood where I was in my room watching Star Wars 4 or something like that. One of them.
Star Wars 4.
Star Wars 4.
One of them.
And Luke's
Star
on-
Wars people out there like, Star Wars 4,
Yeah, I
really?
know. Yeah.
You
I
fucking
know.
asshole. Nobody says that.
But Luke's on one of those riding things and he's going through like a dense forest or whatever. And the CD
It's not just a forest.
the CD or DVD back then, right? DVD freezes right there. And that, for whatever reason, that stayed in my mind. I went to bed and woke up and it was still frozen on the same frame.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Damn.
And
That
for whatever
DVD player
reason,
was shot after that. I've been trying to load this son of a bitch all night. It's just like, fuck it. Fuck it. Maybe it'll fix itself.
it's a bit too late for that. I think it's been 15 years. At least.
Oh, man.
Uh,
Man, what movie really traumatized you? Was there any movie that like traumatized you as a child that you can
Yes.
remember?
Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery, the first one.
Watching the little kid get hit by the semi. As a little kid, probably that size, like fucked me up. I remember just panicking after seeing it. And
Hey,
then
John, turn mic 6 up just a little bit.
when you say eat it, like you really mean eat it.
Yeah, eat it.
yeah.
All
eat
right.
it.
Yeah. Well, I want it up a little bit anyways. My mic always seems to overpower everybody. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Watching the little kid die,
Yeah.
like semi. That's brutal.
Pet Cemetery, is it Pet Cemetery 1 that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Was it 2 that had the guy with the dirt bike?
And he used the
And
chain.
he's
to
using
saw
the
kids.
fucking
Yeah.
That's what got me. That was one of the scenes that got me. But yeah, Pet Cemetery.
See, like I think I know, but it might be a fabricated memory. I'm not sure.
Don't you
Ooh.
hate that?
I think it's one of the scary movies, and like someone poops in a litter box. I think.
like
That's
the
what-
scary movies, like the
scary
funny
movies.
ones.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, like that.
That
It's-
traumatized you?
that stuck in my head forever.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Just the thought of human feces in a cat litter box.
Did you hear
Just-
about that? Did you hear about that? Did you hear about that high school that has litter boxes in their hallways?
That's disgusting.
For people?
Why would they do
That's
that?
what the rumors were. But no, apparently they're just being open to that.
Furries?
Yeah.
Why?
Look it up,
That's
John.
so unusual. No,
There's
that's
an article.
There has to be
There's
a
an
heavy
article. Look it
percentage
up.
of furries to create a movement
I want
such as
this
that.
proved. Yeah, there's a story on it.
I don't know. I don't think
I'm glad you thought of it because I was like, well, what's the, you're like furries? Like,
furries. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, like, what? Litter box and Michigan
Students who
schools.
identify as cat.
Ah, why?
Dude, I swear there was a picture of one, but they're saying
You're
it's
just
false.
like trying to walk to class and some chick's pissing in the hallway.
Inside-
The hallway litter box.
And then she
Midland Public School. Yeah, go to that
Oh,
one.
Midland,
No,
yeah.
litter boxes are not in Midland Public Schools for furries.
and then she hisses at you when you look at her.
Okay.
A kitty litter box. Yeah, that's not even. It's not even in the school. Yeah, isn't that funny?
Holy crap.
Good to like news stories everywhere. Oh man.
Something about background laughing.
Mike also traumatized me with Bloody Mary at a young age.
Oh.
I spent 3 months falling
Ah.
asleep looking away from our bedroom mirror. So I could only sleep on my right side for like months until our our mom had him go in the room with me and prove that they weren't real. That and Candyman, both of them.
Oh,
I had to
both of
watch
them.
Mike say Bloody
Candyman
Mary 3
was
times
scary.
into a mirror.
Damn.
She called me out.
Damn.
You do it.
You do it. You're like, fuck.
I gotta show up.
I gotta show up, man, dude. I gotta do it now. All right, I ain't no bitch.
Yeah.
I ain't no bitch. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, I got traumatized by the Mortal Kombat video game.
Really?
Yeah, for a little while, I was having nightmares from it.
What caused that? Like Liu Kang turning into a
I know, right?
dragon?
Sounds dumb, right? But my nightmares weren't about like me like fighting. My nightmare was one specific scene where it's the fight scene where it's this like there's like green sewage with like bones floating in the background. You
The
know what I'm talking
acid
about?
pool.
Acid pool. Well, my nightmare was I was in the acid pool.
Just burning.
Yeah, and floating down this thing, like past where they were fighting and like into wherever it goes out. So that was my
Right.
nightmare.
I
It
can see
wasn't,
it.
yeah. So it like freaked me out. So I had a few nightmares from it, but then I wanted to play them again, but mom wouldn't let me for a while.
Right.
But yeah, games would freak me out. But that's why I liked playing them.
Yeah.
You know, like the Silent Hills when those came out. Did you guys
I've
never play them?
Silent
I
Hill.
played them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those bitches were fucking scary.
Yeah. Any game that kind of paints terror and all that stuff, even being in the safety of your home, it's like, that's a good game.
It's
Yeah, it is.
nerve-wracking because
Yeah.
your decisions, like,
Ultimately affect.
if you do something wrong, that's when it happens.
Yeah.
It creates the environment of fear.
I liked watching like people play them too, like my cousins or whatever. I would be at if they had it. Like I just like watch, like
Yeah.
shit's
Chill in the
fucking
room
scary,
and
yeah.
watch.
Remember Manhunt?
Yeah. 64, wasn't it?
Nintendo?
Yeah.
No, it was for PlayStation. I
Was
think
it?
wasn't it?
I think it was.
PlayStation. Yeah, 1 or 2.
There were scenes
Two.
that they banned from it, like the murders, because they were too gruesome.
Dude, that shit was so fucking cool, man. Picking the way you just kill them,
Yeah.
like you just stalk people, and
It's one of those games I forget I've played.
but it was so badass. Look up one of those scenes like where you like get to choose how they die. I don't
You
know,
can,
it's
like,
fucking crazy.
Put a
need to
plastic bag over
remaster
some
that
guy's
game.
head and just
Yeah, just you
yeah.
get to choose the way. What a fucked up game,
Yeah.
right?
We played these growing up as influential children,
right.
but
You mean
affluential.
yeah, so it's not influential.
Is this it?
Fucking ads.
We weren't influential as children.
I
I know that much.
Easily influenced.
Easily influenced.
What is
Yeah.
affluenced?
I think that's when you
Affluent,
have
I
a
feel like that
persuasive.
means you're well off.
Affluent.
Affluent. Hold on. let me look it
Fluent
up.
is
There's
like
when you're
being precise. Hmm? Sorry.
when like someone who might be richer than you, they have their
Yeah,
affluent,
affluent
But then
is
there's-
having a great deal of money.
but there's a second meaning to it.
Oh, where's that clip? You got
Flowing
it?
freely or in great quantity of water.
Mm.
An affluent stream.
Oh, you got Manhunt?
Yeah, I think he does. Manhunt.
Top 10.
Manhunt
Oh, top 10
executions.
executions.
Let's
Nice. Let's go.
I love how these videos have like tens of thousands, if
broke
not
his
hundreds of thousands of views.
Knife or glass shard.
Ooh.
They go back with the slow mo.
And wasn't the
Man.
premise of this game, this was all
the hammer?
televised?
Yeah, like it was through like TV security cameras and shit.
So like you had to do these things.
Oh yeah, that one. Bam. Oh. A wire.
The Garrett.
Yeah, I didn't like doing this one. I was like, man, fuck this one. I like the hammer one. Sickle.
They make it look so easy.
Dude, imagine them remastered this game.
Okay.
Oh, right in the fucking.
It was
that rip-
backwards
It's
too.
not even
Yeah.
the right way.
It was not.
Oh,
Machete and meat cleaver.
Oh, he's got the combo.
There you go. Chop his head right off, dude.
You're in the medical field. Would it take that much force to actually get a human head off?
I mean, it depends on how sharp your weapon is, the weight of it, and
How
You're
many
going
chops
through-
to get through?
dude, if you've got a nice sharp blade, probably a couple. if
Just
not
a couple.
few.
Couple slice.
'Cause think like, are you gonna hit the vertebrae? Or are you gonna go in between and slide?
Oh.
But still, there's a lot of resistance in
right.
the neck.
Well. Ooh.
Oh.
Damn.
Woo.
How realistic is that? You think that happened with a bat?
1 out of 10.
With a spatter.
Yeah, I
It's
like that.
gross. Yeah, maybe.
Where his skull isn't even remaining. It's just empty skin.
Empty yet. Skin. Ooh.
Wasn't this like the time everyone was on Rotten.com?
Chainsaw.
Just looking
Yeah,
at dead people?
rotten.com.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Dude.
God
Yeah.
bless it.
And you're supposed to be like stealthy during that using a chainsaw? No.
No.
Yeah, no.
It's just
I got a
idling.
silencer on it.
Chainsaw silencer.
Got it all like a muffler and shit on there.
Banned in 49 states. Except Texas.
Yeah. Dude, that was a badass fucking game. Like,
It was fun.
it was, yeah. I always remember it. That
You're
should
right,
be-
like a remaster to those things would be
Yeah.
horrifying.
They would never do it.
That'd
You
be
couldn't
like
do
a-
it today.
that'd be like
They
an-
made a second one.
Manhunt 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play it.
Neither did I.
I played Manhunt.
But it exists.
But it exists. It probably sucks. It's like, every other sequel.
That's
it's
why
like,
no one's ever played it.
Is it going to be good? Yeah, I don't know. When did the Manhunt 2 come out?
I
Fuck.
can't even remember.
I don't
There
know.
was also Postal.
Postal.
You could
You play as Newman.
do anything.
Weed.
You could do anything in that game, and it was like no moral background. Like you could just whip out your dick and pee on prostitutes or people at the mall. You could just go on a murder spree if you wanted.
Really?
Yeah, you could do whatever you would like.
Postal.
You'd flip people off, and then
Look that up, John.
I
That
feel
sounds
like it was one of
interesting.
those games that got banned because like you could do whatever you wanted.
Rated
It's like a
AO.
GTA on roids or something.
Sort of, yeah. But
Remember
it was
State
like,
of Emergency?
sort of.
Sort
Didn't they
of.
have like a real juiced up big guy in the front, and yet there's a team of other
I
people.
think so, but like you'd go like through the mall, but everybody's just like running around and shit. That was a weird game too.
It's kind of
Is-
coming back. to
People
me.
also ask, is Postal game banned? Violence and drug and terrorist references. However, it's proven that the game could be finished without killing anyone. Smart
Yeah.
move.
You don't have to go postal. That was the whole concept.
Damn.
Redux.
Damn, there's a bunch of different
Redux.
ones. Postal 1997. Is that when
Hold
it first
up.
came out?
Postal babes.
Look at the dude in the middle.
Yeah.
You're like, hell yeah.
Is that Gary Coleman?
I don't know. Click
gotta
on
be.
it. It's gotta be.
No, he was dead before then.
He's
2009.
Maybe.
he's perfect height.
Oh
Mobile
yeah.
game.
A
You can play
mobile
it light.
video game. Huh. Dude, who is that?
God, it's got to be bad.
Is it?
It is Gary Coleman. I know Webster when I see him.
It is Gary Coleman. Is that Gary Coleman? Once you said it, I was like, oh, maybe. Dude, he was dead before that. There he is. He's got a whip. What is he doing with the whip?
Oh my god.
Look at his. Look at him.
Look at him.
Just look at him. Look at him go. Look at him go. Gary Coleman. So can you play as him?
Gary
In
Coleman.
the game?
Oh. That's
Is he like oh man.
Postal
he's the
4,
main
no
character.
regrets.
What? No regrets, really? They went there?
I love that
No
this is
regrets.
real. Like these are things out there.
It's like Periphery for Hail Stan album.
It's just that
20 that was 2019. So they're still making these games. Where are they coming out? What are they releasing on?
It said Postal 2 had the worst reputation.
Oh, Postal 2.
okay. It's got the
2003.
devil in flames on it too.
For which one?
Postal 2.
Oh,
So
2003.
I remember sort of playing it. It was first person, so you have like your hands out in front of you,
Okay.
and there's just like this simulated world of things going on. It is GTA, but it's very dated, like with how it is.
Right.
And
Dude, is that Gary Coleman again?
It is.
Down there. Look at dude,
Yeah,
it's fucking
it is.
Gary Coleman.
He's everywhere.
this is awesome.
Yo! Sick.
That's what I said. Can you play with him, man?
It's on Steam.
See, review Postal 2. Gary Coleman. More offensive than fun.
That game makes it more fun.
Which makes it more fun.
Okay, look. The cat picture right there.
What the fuck is up with that cat? Oh, Gary Coleman. He's fucking everywhere.
Welcome, Gary Coleman.
Wait a minute. Is that Gary Coleman again? What's with the cat picture up there? Is that it?
It
It's
looks
like just
exactly
gonna
what
shoot?
you think it
This
is.
guy shooting at a cat butt?
Yeah.
Or it's already mounted on there.
Oh.
So when you pull the trigger.
Yeah, it shoots the
Shoots
cat
the
out,
cat?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they
You can
crossed
look
a
at it
lot of
one or
lines.
two ways.
Remember South Park on 64? Like you had a cow launcher?
No, I didn't play that
Okay.
on 64. Dude, we were obsessed with WWF No Mercy.
Wrestling games
fucking
in that
all we
era.
played, dude.
Are the best.
We had a WCW one. We just played the No Mercy. It was so good. And we just create different characters and fucking just go through the storylines and stuff. Did you guys need another beer?
Sure.
I would take one, yes. That was so much fun in a game. Those wrestling games, having to create your own character.
Yeah.
Because you could outfit them with, like, other people's songs or videos when they're walking out.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, you could do the whole thing, the whole creation mode. Like, dude, we had so many created characters. We like ran out of names and stuff to fucking use. It'd get ridiculous. Like, what are we gonna create this guy? So we'd create like the tallest, fattest dude we could, and like the shortest, smallest, skinniest dude, and go through it all, man.
That was me on hockey games, where I'd be like a 7'7", 280 something pound dude.
Just
I
Yeah.
I played a tennis game for the PS3, and they had the custom creation thing, and I made my guy like 6'7", so you could just stand at the net and go doof, because his
That's
arm
scary.
span's like 7 foot.
yeah, no shit.
I
Wow.
love those custom creations. You just
God,
make
dude.
them inhuman.
Yeah, imagine him playing like a doubles match in tennis. Like, oh, now he just has it out half the court.
Two of them
Oh
playing
my
doubles.
god.
What are you gaming on
Two.
right now?
Fucking, if anything, it's Xbox, but I haven't been playing much fucking games in a while.
Nothing got your eye on?
The last game that I sat through and played was Outer Worlds,
Okay.
which was fucking really good.
I haven't played it.
You haven't played it?
Nope.
Oh, it's like, you fan of like the Fallout games and Skyrim and shit?
Oh, yeah.
Then you'll like Outer Worlds. It's a little more, it's open world, but it's a little more contained than like a Fallout and shit. You can't just like go that way forever and then find something.
Yeah.
It'll craft you along the storyline, but there's still other shit. It was really good. I liked it a lot.
I'll try
I
it.
walked a lot.
I haven't touched an Xbox
Xbox.
since
Xbox.
Halo Reach.
Suck it. Since Halo Reach.
Yeah, it's been a while.
what was the last? Was that the last Halo game I played? Would that be 4, basically?
Yeah, it came after Halo 3.
Yeah,
essentially.
I think that was the last one I played for Halo.
That might be the same for me. Is that where like
is
Master Chief is just floating in space on a ship?
No, Reach was a planet, wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm probably thinking of 3.
3's generally the one where
3,
all the other
yeah.
Halo fans fell off. 2
Yeah.
and 3.
I didn't do it on purpose. Like I loved Halo. It was cool.
Me too.
It's just
I
I
fell
went
off
to
Halo on
PlayStation out.
accident.
3 was where he was floating in space, right?
I think so.
On the fucking ship, the old ship.
And Cortana was still kind of like there.
Yeah. 2 was the best, obviously. And like the ending, wasn't the ending of 2 like that epic where on the Warthog and the whole everything's falling apart? That was like
Yeah.
doing that like co-op, even like System Link or whatever with friends, and you got guy on the turret and shit.
Yup.
Yeah, dude.
Do you ever miss LAN?
Miss
Like,
what?
LAN.
Lane?
Linking
multiple.
multiple consoles up and playing.
Your
Well,
buddies would come over
because
with their
because everybody
PCs.
would be in the same room.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's
that
a-
kind of deal.
It's a different feeling than like Wi-Fi or a Discord call.
Right. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, for sure. You know, but everybody's got like their setups now where it's so
Yeah.
advanced. It's not just like let's
Yeah.
play on TV.
Yeah.
Who cares if we got just one corner of the screen? You know,
Yeah,
too
yeah.
type of deal, or split screen.
I've seen pictures of people playing like 16-player Mario Kart Double Dash, and they've got like 8 CRTs in a room.
Right.
And they're all like huge, big backbreakers.
I mean, if everybody, you know, like if everybody had like just like a fucking 15-20 inch monitor you could play on. Most like competitive gamers and people that are really into gaming, they would prefer like a small monitor.
Do they?
Yeah, and that's what they use in like the tournaments and stuff. They don't have like a big ass screen. Well, because
I
I was
guess,
playing on
like,
like
I
a
guess-
60 inch,
Yeah.
and I'd get pissed. And my brother's like, "It's because you're playing on that big ass fucking TV where the lag, it's just like a millisecond or two. You know that lag because of the screen's so big."
Yeah.
He says there's more of a lag than when you have a smaller screen. It's a lot tighter.
Less surface area.
I guess
I
I
guess.
misunderstood what you meant by like small screen. Because I'm
Oh.
in my mind, I'm already thinking about like desktop displays.
Yeah.
So when you say small screen, it like shrinks down to like that size for me.
Oh,
I'm
no.
like, are you sure about?
Yeah, no, not that. Like,
Like,
yeah,
I know
like
they're
a-
not playing on huge HD TVs.
yeah, no, yeah, like a monitor. Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's like
yeah,
a
yeah.
monitor out there. You know, like a
Yeah,
regular
because
computer
latency
monitor.
is so important.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
The latency, that's, yeah, he's basically saying, yeah, you shouldn't be playing on a 60-inch fucking TV
Yeah.
and trying to play Call of Duty.
yeah,
or
if you're
something.
trying to win.
I'm like, yeah, but I can see everything.
That's my logic. I just want to see everything.
But then he's like, yeah, but you can actually see more when the screen is tighter and right in front of you. So you can see the whole screen. Like, you don't got to go like,
There's no peripherals or anything.
you know, it's
every-
right
yeah,
there. Yep.
Yeah, I get that.
Me too. I can't argue against it, but I was still like, man, but the 60 inch is badass, man.
Yep.
I'm not after my what KDR, I killed it to death
Kill the
ratio.
death ratio.
You've been
Yeah.
taking that so serious.
I got a 65 in my living room and a 55 in my bedroom.
Yeah,
I got the
dude.
65 in the living room.
60. I mean, dude, and then I've got TCL TVs, which is
Mhm.
like a Japanese brand, but it comes with Roku already installed, and comparatively, they're cheaper than other brands of TVs. But they came out with a 75 inch, and I'm looking at my wife. I'm like, can we get it? Can we get it? Put the 65 in the bedroom. She's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're right, but I still want a 75 inch in the living room.
Oh man,
I
you
watch
gotta
TV
be
in
easy.
my bedroom.
I don't either.
I have a TV in there, but it's like every day I stare at it. It's just going to waste. Like I don't want to lay in bed and watch a movie or game when the big ass TV is right out in the living
Yeah.
room.
I
Yeah.
like sitting in the bedroom sometimes. Plus,
Mm.
me and my wife will sit in different rooms. We only have a 2-room house,
Right.
so we've got the kids' room, the living room, the bedroom, and then the kitchen and the
Right.
washroom. So like, if
Yeah.
you need a different area to like, I love my wife, but like, I'm not just gonna sit in the living room with her all day every day. and she's
Well,
not-
plus
and
if
she's
you're
not gonna
gaming
do it
out,
with
you're
me.
gonna hog up, but you're gonna hog up the living room with the games.
Yeah.
So it's like,
So
Now I gotta go sit in the bedroom.
we
you know,
we
like
take
type deal. Like
turns.
take your game in there, I guess.
We take turns flipping between the bedroom and
Oh, you
the
do?
living room. Yeah,
Fuck. Maybe
depending
you
on.
gotta hook up, unhook all your shit, bring it out there. Like, oh,
I
it's time
usually-
to
I-
switch. Okay.
I don't play a lot of.
We don't hook everything.
He has my PS4,
Yes, I do.
so
Yes, I do.
I only have my Switch, and I have 2 docks for it.
Mhm.
One's hooked up to the living room, one's hooked up to the bedroom. So all I gotta do is take it and dock it into the bedroom. So the yeah,
Usability.
the hardware
Easy.
movement isn't really a concern at all.
Right.
No, if I had a PS4, I'd probably just choose to play it another day. I'd go watch YouTube videos in the bedroom or something.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, I mean, like, you got any channels that you guys subscribe to? Like, what do you watch the most on YouTube?
I watch, like you were saying, we like watching people play video games.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I do that, but not like the Minecraft version where I like to reminisce and go over games that I used to play, but watch people do them better, like 100% playthroughs
yeah.
or speed runs, and just watching people cruise through these games. Or if I couldn't have played it or I've heard of the game, someone on there has a full thing. So I'm just like in pure game nostalgia watching the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like watching games done quick. It's just a speed run event that happens that I think's really fun. I love speed runs. He likes
So
watching
it's like
completionist runs
playing through the game just
as
like
fast as possible.
like somebody doing it as fast as they
Yeah.
can. Oh, okay. So like they've done this. Yeah, I've seen those where they got
Those are
it down
wild.
pat.
And they find like glitches and exploits and stuff that they use to get to like areas you're not supposed to get to at that point.
That's too much for me though.
Yeah.
Metroid's a really good series for speedruns because
Okay.
all the games are glitchy. So
Oh,
there's
right.
always something to find a way to get to an area you're not supposed to be in.
I just remember those in like Mario and stuff when you like take like
Mhm.
the fucking little tunnel down, and all of a sudden you can go to a different level,
Yeah.
like skip way ahead. You're like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, you-
skip this shit, man.
You'd stand on the hill, you'd crouch for like 5 seconds, then you could drop behind it and then
Yeah.
go behind the black
Mario
curtain and-
3, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those I think those pipes in Mario 1 were for the devs initially. So the developers could get to like the net like level 4 or whatever without having to progress through the whole game because they didn't have like ways to get to a certain game and play it after they had coded it.
Oh, no
So it was a
shit.
way for them to test bugs and stuff. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and then,
That's kind of cool.
and that was like
And
the
they just left it in the game when they released
Yeah.
it
It became his thing.
because that was
on
like the
accident
first-
type of thing. Like it became his thing on accident. Like did they not mean for this to be in the game?
I have no idea.
You know?
I I think it's just at that point it's useless to take it out.
Right. Yeah.
Because that was the first NES game, and then
Right.
later down the line, the NES games had codes that you could put in, which took you to certain parts in the game, which were also like dev intended. But then people figured out what the codes were,
It was just
so
like
they
how
could
the
just
fuck
put it
did,
in and get to a certain
I
point in
know.
the game.
I wonder like who the first person was to find a cheat code, you know, for a game.
Doesn't
what
it
was the
suck that
first-
the first person who found a cheat code's
It was-
name will never be remembered?
Right.
They
Look it up.
probably-
Look it up, John. Like when was the first cheat code, or what
like
was the first cheat code
someone
for a video game?
Probably snorted a line, was already manic, and was just like,
Pressing buttons over and over.
Yeah.
But then you have to recreate it, right?
but in that
To tell your
mindset-
friend, or you just go and be like, dude, I was high and I pressed
did
some
this.
buttons
Yeah.
and this happened.
And now I gotta figure out what buttons I press.
There's a
like, you know, how many buttons do you need to press? You know, there's a certain amount. You know, like 8. You gotta go up, down, left, right, A, B.
you have to do it in a specific time span,
Yep.
or else it doesn't work.
It's like
So-
you didn't get Mortal Kombat and it come with a guide. I think there was like a menu feature you could see moves.
Yeah.
But like, how the hell would someone just figure out in that era?
Oh,
to do
right.
this,
Yeah, just to do that, just
the
to do a
fatality?
move.
Yeah.
Like,
Just to
it's
do
a
a move.
7 move set. Ba, 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 ba.
Quarter
Yeah.
circles and everything. Yeah.
Right.
There's a guy on YouTube called Summoning Salt that I really like. And that's what he does is he talks about the history of speedruns.
Summoning salt.
Summoning, yeah, I think that's it.
Summoning Salt.
Summoning Salt. And he talked about Contra. I don't know if you
Mhm.
you remember Contra
Yeah.
for the NES. He talked about that, and one of the speedrunners fell off a level, and it like reset his character at the next level.
Whoa.
And it hasn't happened again since. And they even had someone go and like debug the game and dump all the code, and he couldn't figure out why it happened.
Damn.
Konami code.
The Konami code. Originated as a cheat code, a sequence of button presses that unlock secret features in a video game, usually making it easier to play. Gradius for the NES.
I've not heard of that game.
What the hell?
I just watched a Netflix thing. It's like a 6-part series about video games, and they start from the very beginning. And they didn't. I don't think they've mentioned a Gradius.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
First Easter egg.
Moonlander.
A McDonald's restaurant.
Really? No shit. On the moon? McDonald's. They're fucking everywhere, dude. Just like a Dollar General.
You're like 6 years old and 73. It's full of cigarette smoke, and this little like game is right there to play. Everyone's smoking.
Man. Wasn't that long ago. You can smoke in a Ponderosa or anywhere. Isn't that fucking crazy? I always thought that was dumb too. Like, you know, you got a smoking section over here, and then the
The smoke
non-smoking.
just-
It's the smoke just goes over there.
Like some people just went in the restaurant thinking it was magically gonna
Just
come
not
over there.
get to them. Yeah. Dumb. Dumb, dude.
Dumb.
Just dumb.
What about you? I see you do like exploration.
Mhm.
You do like abandoned places.
Abandoned buildings and shit. Yeah.
Do you watch other people do that too, or is that just like
Yeah, that's kind of what really pushed me to like try to go and film some of my own shit. Yeah, watching the proper people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they got like a fucking over 1 million some subscribers on YouTube for doing this shit.
Wow.
They get paid now. Like they fucking travel and go to all different kinds of crazy places.
That's wild.
Yeah. But they've like even just been in Detroit and stuff too. We went to a place that they did before while we were out. I don't know if I ever released yet.
What was it, like an old school or
I think it was a school that they went to. I think it was Southwest.
Okay.
But yeah, we've been to Detroit a few times. That Lee Plaza that they're going to try to rebuild again, do something with. We explored that whole thing all the way up to the top. The fucking top's the best part. I was like, man, imagine sitting up here for like 4th of July. That'd be sweet. You see fireworks over the whole fucking town.
Do you ever run into people?
Oh,
Like unexpected, you just happen upon somebody?
oh, we've ran into, like, just run into somebody there exploring one time. That was at Parchment Paper Mill in Kalamazoo.
Okay.
Well, Parchment, actually, it's like a city. But he was like, it's a huge complex, so like there's a bunch of different buildings and stuff. And we were going to another building, and he was walking out of the building. We were going to go in. He just, waved and whatever. And then he left. And then in Chicago, we went to former NBA player Ken Morrison. He played for a few different teams. One of them was the Bucks. And we went to his old mansion.
It's just abandoned.
Yeah. I
Wow.
mean, it's a piece of shit now.
Oh.
We found out, but it was still kind of cool because you could kind of see what it might have been like. And we were sitting, he has a basketball court outside, and we were getting our like cameras and stuff set up. And then there's these two younger dudes that kind of hopped over the fence too. And I'm like, hey, what's up? But then they told us about some other places in the area. So they just explored it, and they were on their way. They weren't loud or anything. I mean, this was like early as fuck in the morning. This was like 5:30. This is ass crack of dawn. We were there, but we had to wait. There was like a Rite Aid next door, so we like just waited there. It was dark still. We misjudged the time change, so I was like, oh fuck. So we like scoped it out and then waited until it got light a little bit, and then hopped over the fucking whatever fences left. It's kind of concrete, but. Yeah, we ran in there. And then at the time when we were in Flint, we went to Flint Northern, and we got popped by the cops there. So building still had power on and everything, and they had fucking cases upon cases of water in there. Yeah, so I got it all on film. I released it, and then you can hear us. You see the cop and everything, because I recorded when they caught us. I didn't realize that I was still recording, so I was like, after we got done and everything, I turned on my camera and I was like, holy shit. And I got like an hour some video clip here, and it was all the whole thing. I recorded the whole thing, and even in my backpack, it was just like you could hear us walk into the car and everything, and hear him going through the bags, and yeah, it was kind of cool. Yeah, they kept us there for a while though. I didn't know if we were gonna get out of it. I thought he was gonna bring us in and like go through the whole bullshit.
Question you, yeah.
Oh, they questioned. They did all that too, you know, like that. Yeah, they're like, "Why the fuck are you guys here?" You know, the fucking one dude was really mad at first. But so we wanted to get into another topic of astrology and how you have pretty hot takes
It's time
on
for
astrology.
Mike's hot take.
takes. Ooh, spicy.
It just gets you in the mood, doesn't it? It's good. It's gospel like. No, it's a topic, and it gets like everybody all juiced up every time. Like you can share one meme, and then everybody's like, "Fuck yeah!"
That's why I like to post them.
So, what's your hot takes on astrology?
In a nutshell, it's basically pointless and it misses the point
Misses the point.
of individuality, I guess. It makes some people feel they're more enlightened, they're more connected, they're a certain way because of, and I don't know, just going through life, you meet all sorts of people. One guy might be real bad, one guy might be, you know, super generous. It doesn't matter, you know, what month they were born. There's nothing that is set to determine anything of how a person is other than their own choices to be, or, you know, I mean, outside factors, but I wouldn't say it's because I was born this month.
The gravitational
day,
pull of
under-
astral bodies that are light years away from us. Yeah.
Dang.
It just
Light
doesn't
years.
add up for me. And
No.
a lot of people I've met kind of cause prejudices
Yeah.
towards it, and it kind of shows the audience of people that kind of live that life.
Live that life.
Yep. Where they feel they're better, more connected, they understand who you are before they know anything else about you. It's very general.
Very general.
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't make up why we are how we are.
So, we had predetermined to have your chart read for you today. Are you ready to do that?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it.
Are you prepared?
It's
Are
not
you ready?
something that like will make me jump back and hiss.
No. All right, John, can you turn your mic down and then unplug her mic in? Nice, calming.
Nice to meet you, by the way.
This
I'm
is
Mike.
Alyssa. This is my wife. This is the first time she's ever been on the podcast. And here's your headphones.
And how many podcasts have you done?
Is this one gonna be 93? I think.
Nice.
93, I think. Do Do you have her mic plugged in? All right. Did you turn it up about halfway? Okay. All right,
There it
cool. I think
All right.
you just gotta. There you go.
Just gotta be a lot.
We gotta
closer.
eat. Everybody's gotta eat the mics here.
Are you gonna? Do you want to put this on there?
Oh,
This
Or
beer's
not,
making
it
me
doesn't matter.
gassy.
just go to the actually, John, on the folder. Just click on the folder menu or icon at the bottom. Yeah. Go to downloads, and then it'll be chart, and then just move that over to the screen. There we go. Boom.
This is the nice background.
Yeah. All right.
All right. It's
First,
kind of small, but
first thing I want to point out is name is Dude.
I didn't know your name at the time. Just knew you were a dude born at that time in Flint.
All right.
It isn't wrong.
It isn't wrong. Okay.
Good, because if it was wrong, this whole thing would be wrong.
I am dude.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. All right. So this is an astrology chart. Have you ever seen one of these or done one of these?
I've seen one.
You
Yeah,
seen
so
one?
this is your birth chart, where when you were born. So it places you right at the center.
Do you want to just look up at that one and then you can have this one, or you need this one?
No, it doesn't really matter. You can.
Okay. Point it towards you.
Yeah, so astrology. It's a super ancient tradition. It's been around for a very, very long time.
Millennia.
Yeah. Within the last 50 to 100 years, probably more like 50 years, there's been a lot of translations of a lot of, I guess, ancient text.
Okay.
And those are where a lot of like the rules of things have come from, because this is something that was followed a long time ago, and then it was lost for a long time due to a lot of different reasons, and then it kind of came back.
Okay.
Okay. So, when people think of astrology, the first thing they look at is your sun sign. Like, what is your sign, right?
Yes.
That's usually the first thing. That's one little teeny part of the chart. So your sun sign is that little circle with the circle inside there. So that's your sun. So you probably already knew that your sun sign was a Cancer.
So this one right here?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's where the sun was.
Nice.
Basically way at the bottom, like underneath where you were when you were born, underneath the earth, basically.
I just have to say, when she read mine, I was like, it was pretty much like, yeah.
Yeah.
That was-
So most
that was
people
kinda
start
me.
with most people just look at that sun sign, and that's where a lot of people don't feel like they resonate with or match with it. Because I meet a lot of people who say, "Oh, I'm a Cancer, but I'm nothing like that." Well, that's because there's a lot more to it than just that. To start with, I would look at three main components. So I would look at your sun sign, which is that circle, and then you have your moon sign, which happens to be right next to it. You see that little shape that looks like a moon there. That one's pretty easy to find. So your moon sign is also Cancer. And then you would look at your rising sign. Your rising sign is going to be the one that's in the first house, or that first little section there where the number 1 is. So it's like on the left side.
Right up here?
But yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yep. So that's your rising sign. So that's the sign or the constellation that was on the horizon at the time you were born. So that's like what was coming up where the sunrise would be, basically. Okay?
Okay.
So the sun sign and the moon sign, and then the rising together, they kind of, I think more of them, like if you combine the three of them, that's more kind of like you and your personality. Your moon sign is supposed to be about your emotions and your subconscious and maybe the things that you don't necessarily say but think. And then your rising sign, they say, has to do a lot with like what people say see when they first see you. So that has to do a lot with like your physical appearances. So I pulled out my book here and I looked up the appearance description for a Taurus rising before I saw you. I promise I wasn't like stalking you on Facebook to try if anything matches or
No,
anything.
she read it to me, so then I was like, all right, now I'll show you a picture.
Yeah. So this is what it says for the appearance. So Taurus is characterized by a large head, short neck, and strong shoulders atop a stocky body, which tapers down to the feet, planted firmly on the ground. So that's kind of strongly seated, right? The eyes are large and striking, set below a broad forehead, and hair tends to be coarse and dark. Lips may be thick and fleshy. A Taurian dresses comfortably but sensually.
Aha.
Mm-hmm. Not the lips. You got thin lips.
As much as I don't enjoy it, yes.
Yeah.
Hey, I do too. I
It's
don't have
all
much
right.
lip.
So I figure we'd start with that. That's the appearance that goes along with it. So if we start by just kind of looking at the beginning of your chart there, your rising sign is Taurus. So Taurus has to do with stability, reliability, materialistic things, possessions, money.
You got the brother here like,
Could
fuck
be,
that. Fuck that.
could be totally wrong. I don't know you. And the
Well, the brother's always going to have an asshole opinion anyway, so.
So each sign has a planet that matches it or rules it. Okay, and the sign that rules Taurus is Venus. Venus is that little one in the number 2, the second house. Okay,
Okay.
so that has to deal with your money and your possessions and your materialistic things, which also. Which is the house that Taurus rules, because those are the things that I just said are associated with Taurus. So to me, that's going to say that there's going to be a little bit of an ease with money somewhere along the way, because that's all related to, or just material in general. You might not necessarily need money to get what you need.
Right.
But it helps.
It definitely helps.
It does help. So that's usually why we say money, because you usually need money to go along with things. So yeah, that was the first thing that I saw that kind of jumped out, is money is probably not really a hard thing. To a certain degree, we'll get to that when I got to the top part. It got a little weird there. And then your sun and your moon.
Foreshadowing.
So your sun and your moon, they are both a Cancer sign. So Cancers tend to be emotional. They tend to be intuitive, imaginative. They can also be like sarcastic. They can be overbearing. They can be snappy, maybe when they feel threatened or the need to just either protect themselves or put themselves out there in a very distinct, like very out there way. And the moon is ruled by Cancer, so that makes the those qualities a lot stronger.
And why?
Because it's right in the house that it rules.
Oh, okay.
Also, don't know if Kyle's ever mentioned that. I've actually never done this before for somebody.
Why would I mention that?
Was it more like a homework assignment?
A homework assignment?
Yeah. Like
Was it like a
you,
homework
you have the
assignment?
coordinates, more or less, and then from there it just goes back to
So that's where we could go with this, as in, astrology. A lot of people start throwing in like, ooh, astrology, like kind of like humdrumming it almost along the psychic lines and stuff like that, to where astrology is more like this is where the shit was when you were born. This is what these rules or these, ancient stuff that she was saying says it is, and I'm going to read it and then tell you what it all means for your chart. There's no like, I'm, seeing this, I can just tell you. That's why I say it's like a compass. Astrology to me is like a good compass, and it like, maybe not everything, is going to match perfectly, but you're going to get a good direction, and you're going to kind of like, to me, more stuff might add up than others. You were laughing at the sustainability end or something, but you guys aren't in a relationship together, so you could be very sustaining on that end. Maybe you guys are dicks to each other, but but that's where some match, not just a whole overall personality, but certain aspects in your life. You could be like, I can, or money does come easy in this area or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we didn't talk at all about like what I actually think about astrology before we jumped right into this either. So astrology is like a very popular thing right now, right? I mean, it's either very popular and you love it or you hate it for some reason. It's like blowing up, probably because the internet. Everything else blows up because of the fucking internet.
Yeah.
So I look at astrology as more like a map in the sky for yourself. It's something that you put there.
I'm still listening. I was just.
Beer break.
Get the lighter.
That's better. Anyways, so at this point, astrology is basically a set of rules that were put together a long ass time ago, and we are basically rediscovering them. The rules that were put together, it was basically by just watching what would happen when the stars were in each alignment. So, and this was just over a long period of time, because that's how they did everything a long time ago. Mathematicians, they just sit there and
fucking wait.
Or astronomers.
There was no projecting.
Well, no, you just had to watch it. I mean, they didn't have any sort of technology like we have now.
Are these based off of the positions back when they started doing this?
That is based off of the time that he was
No,
born.
I meant these sections.
Certain sections. So
These
would this
sections
section be different if he was born at a different time or day? Would
Yes.
this be different?
Yes, it would all. Yeah.
Where Pisces and Cancer are would be different.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, like.
Yeah, because it depends on whatever was. These are where they were. So if he was a Pisces rising, then Pisces would be right here. And then right here, so this is Pisces.
Okay.
If he was a Pisces rising, Pisces would be right here. And then the next one over, which is Aquarius, would be right here. And then the next one over would be right here. So think of this as you are standing right here.
Yeah.
This is why I said he should have been right here. Because I'm talking to this guy when I should be talking to this guy.
I was trying to judge the heights, okay? We do have it up there, too. I should get you a laser pointer.
That would have been cool.
So you're just
Grab
in
a
the
cat
center, and it's basically a map.
It's basically,
This
yeah,
is
it's
where
basically a
everything
map.
was.
Yep,
Okay.
north
I gotcha.
and south.
But these will change based on the day or year or just time in general.
Yeah,
Seasons.
Seasons. Really?
and then all the planets, they move at a lot different speeds.
Right.
Their paths are all different.
Okay.
Anyways, so this is where it probably gets a little woo-woo, but anyways, I think astrology is a map that you put together for yourself
Woo.
before you were born. So I think this is a map you gave yourself to try to work your way through and figure things out for yourself. So I think being able to even look at somebody else's chart is a privilege, because you telling me your birth time is letting me look at all this stuff. So this is telling me about you, like I'm a stranger to you. And to me, you're basically like, here you go. Go ahead and see who I am. That's my opinion.
Right.
So I think even just being able to look at somebody else's. Now, these things aren't definitive because we're people. We have free will. We're people. We can do whatever the hell we want. Now, I do think we set paths for ourselves before we're born of what we want to do and the direction we want to go, but nothing is set in stone. We're
Right.
here to live a life, and it's not dictated by.
So does that mean we choose when we're born?
Mhm.
So why would people choose to be born during like the Black Plague?
To
Or
learn
like
very
in
specific lessons to
Africa.
to learn specific lessons to go along with it, because
Yeah, you can extrapolate that out.
so this is going into a whole nother,
This is
whole
bringing
nother topic.
spirituality into astrology.
because
with
to me
her-
astrology is very spiritual.
Sure.
So yes, your soul, you are a soul in a human body. I think that's a real thing.
Yeah.
So you have a soul that I think is probably lives for eternity.
Beyond
I
time.
guess I don't
Yeah.
know. Has always lived forever. Will always be forever. I don't know. Whatever. And yeah, you live multiple lifetimes. I firmly believe that.
and then you will learn different lessons each
So,
time.
and your soul is constantly learning and growing and coming back into a life, incarnating, which is the idea of reincarnation. So you are incarnating to learn lessons. Some are easy lessons, some are hard lessons.
So like, say an aborted fetus, right? Like the soul that's going into the aborted fetus already knows it's going to be aborted before
Yeah.
it goes in there.
It could be for it.
So
Mhm.
what's the lesson?
I don't know. I'm not in that situation. The lesson could
Wrong
be for the
vessel.
mom or for the
Wrong
dad.
vessel.
Wrong vessel.
It could. I mean, I don't know. That could be a possibility. It could be that, yeah, maybe they decided they needed to make some changes quickly, or it could have been a lesson for one of the parents too, because
Oh.
I think that when
Because I
you-
guess if your soul just goes back out and then back in again, could have been used as a lesson for the parent.
That's the
soul?
strange thing about mortality, though, right? Because if your soul learns a lesson, then the lesson it should learn is that it never goes away. So why do we still fear mortality?
say that once more.
If your soul continues going on,
Yeah,
right, and it has been since the beginning of time, which population is kind of weird because if the population keeps rising, there needs to be more souls,
Right.
Unless you believe there's souls in every creature and there's some finite amount of
Then you could get
creatures
into
that have always been
well,
around.
you don't necessarily
could get
know
into
like how many
ghosts and all
souls are
that.
currently
Yeah, I know,
incarnated
but
and
that
how
would
many are still.
yeah, but that would
not.
mean that there's souls just kind of chilling
ghosts.
who don't need to learn any lessons.
Ghosts,
But-
paranormal stuff.
No, it's
I
not-
don't know.
I don't think it's that they have to not learn any lessons. It's more that maybe they're
Content.
planning their next lesson. I think
That's the
'cause
unknown that we don't know.
But
our
I guess.
perception of time is
Hypothesizing.
quite different
Yeah, at
than
this point.
probably
Right.
when you're not.
back to my original point.
Yeah.
As far as if you've lived many lifetimes, then why do people still fear mortality?
You don't remember any of that. You don't currently know of any of that, do you?
Then
You don't currently.
Then how
think
do you
that,
then how do you
personally.
learn the lessons? What are the lessons for if you don't know anything that's happened?
So
I
right,
guess.
right now, do you have any conscious memory of being a soul that planned to live the life that you're living right now?
No.
So
course
then, okay.
Right.
So then you wouldn't have that non-existing fear of mortality and knowing that you'll just come back and that you're doing it for the right reasons because you're not thinking about that part of it.
But then what's the soul's purpose?
Maybe
so
it's-
you're
Lessons
gonna come
if
here and you're
I
gonna learn a
don't-
bunch of
Dang, it's my
lessons,
podcast.
and then huh?
I said, God dang it, it's my podcast. No, I was just gonna say maybe it's that when you come back you've learned lessons subconsciously, so like you know not to do crack cocaine this time around. You know what I mean? Maybe that destroyed your life in a previous life, and you're just like dead set. You know, you just kind of grow up like I'm not gonna do drugs, or something.
But
That's just kind of how
Or-
your
yeah,
life.
it just-
You know,
I guess
I
just
don't
wouldn't be
know.
an issue,
I'm just throwing
but-
shit at the wall here, but like,
Well, that's what all of. I mean, any sort of spiritual belief is just throwing shit at the wall because nobody has proof of any of it, right? I
Yeah.
mean, any
Yeah.
sort of belief or spirituality or religion or whatever you want to call it. I mean, there isn't
It
Right.
just throws
There's
my
not
mind into
concrete
a warp.
proof, right?
but there's still like
So you don't really
right. You
know.
can still ask questions and challenge the mind,
Mhm.
which is what I like
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah,
Which is
for
like
sure.
why, like doing crack cocaine. Your soul could just chill out until scientists learn that crack cocaine is bad and they stop putting coke into Coca-Cola. Right? Like,
you know,
it doesn't have to go. Like you didn't have to go to the 1800 industrial age and work in a coal mine, right? Like
Right.
you could just wait until you could get into a body that's going to get a cushy job, right? And like do this.
right.
Or you could be just.
But
be
that's
like,
where it goes into the planning of the lessons that you're going to learn, I guess, right?
Yeah, I would
'Cause you gotta
imagine
learn
there's
all
more.
these-
I would
Have
imagine
you
there's
ever
a lot.
wanted to learn a lesson by doing coke?
Fuck no.
I
But
mean,
maybe
that's-
I was
that's-
like, I'm going to party this time.
That's the thing. Like if you can make one of these, and you can make multiple, right? You can choose which sign you are every single life.
I
Yeah.
guess if you're choosing your time, yeah.
So
Yep.
so why wouldn't you just choose the most affluential? Like what's it to the soul to learn a lesson that causes grief?
You can learn a lot in hard lessons. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure
what's
we've
the,
all had
what's the
hard lessons
point?
in our
What's
life.
the point?
I guess to
right?
learn. I don't know.
To learn, because when things are easy, you can't. When things are just easy and you just go along, you're not learning a whole lot in that.
Yeah, but that's
You
not
have to struggle
my
a little
point.
bit. I guess I'm totally
my point.
missing
My
the
point is, why does the soul need to learn a lesson? It's a
yeah, it's
spiritual
hard. That's a
being
hard
beyond
question to
time,
answer. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Right? It doesn't need to choose to go
I
into
just-
a human.
because
Right.
I
Right.
believe that's what our souls are there for, is to learn and to.
Yeah, like why do I want to be a goat this time? Like and eat grass.
Right.
I don't necessarily know if we come back as like,
Well, some
go, I
some
don't know, maybe we
reincarnation people
could.
think you do. You
Well,
go
maybe.
into a chicken. You know.
I
I mean,
was telling him on the way over, like, what if you die and your soul, because is some recyclable energy or whatever people refer to it as, what if because space is infinite, assigned your quadrant of infinity and you can be the thing, the god,
of something else.
you
Oh,
rule
wow.
over.
Because
It's
we
the
don't know
Part
how
of
big it
empty
is.
Space,
There
and you
are
get to create your own
billions.
Big Bang and
Whoa, that's
watch the universe form in your own quadrant and
Very
life
see
or
That's
not,
crazy.
that's your creation. And
See, I thought I said the other
Be at
day
peace.
I was talking to, what's his name, Zach, and I said, I had a crazy thought of what if the afterlife is more of like what if religion is here for you to worship and stuff, to create a mindset and almost create something inside of your head or your soul or your mind or whatever that
that you
like you
experience.
create it.
That's you create it yourself. So if you think heaven is streets of gold and you're gonna meet your grandparents and everybody there at the gates, like, so then when
that's
you die,
exactly
that's
what
exactly
happens.
what happens.
When your
To
brain
where if you
releases that
think I had a
chemical.
shit life and I'm going to hell anyways, I'm gonna burn for eternity, that's what you fucking do. Or if
Very
you
well
think
put.
hell is more like a different earth where everything's terrible, then maybe you just end up there. I don't know. Or if you think you're doomed to be a ghost, like, I'm gonna haunt this bitch.
We
Like,
ta-
maybe that's what the fuck you do. Maybe.
we talked about
Maybe.
that on the way here too. The act of being a ghost. You're this crazy spirit who can go through walls. You're unaffected by gravity or anything, and you
Or
choose to
time.
haunt the carpet that your cat peed on. That
Right,
You've
yeah.
been pissed about for 30 years, and it's like, and now you're just knocking stuff over because you're angry, and the new residents are like, "What's going on?" Like,
Right, but
You
I'd,
just
I'd
That
have
say
makes
to-
me want to know why.
you have
Why
the
are they stuck to that?
cosmos.
but why are
So
most
there must-
most ghost stories are like an old person or something. A lot of them end up being like older people, like they just, that's their home, like, that's where that's my chair.
They're just angry all the
Yeah,
time.
and that's why they say they get angry once you start remodeling the house, and all of a sudden the spirits act up. You know what I mean? So like,
Shit
who the
alone.
fuck,
I
It's
can,
I don't
just-
know.
I
it's
can
just-
imagine living at Uncle John's, like long after he's gone or something, and
Yeah.
I
And then
do
the-
something, and then you feel like that ominous presence, like he caught you doing some bullshit.
It's just so weird to feel like you would limit yourself so much by sticking to a single point.
But
space.
before you go to the body, you're reincarnated. Then your soul knows that you're gonna be going back, right? So instead of choosing all these lessons, I guess, hypothesizing like we all
Right,
are,
yeah.
but maybe you choose this set of lessons, and then when you go, you obviously don't realize that there's this big plan, and you're gonna go back, and your soul's gonna come back.
It almost sounds like multiverse theory.
Right. Yeah,
Like-
simulation type shit. There's
like-
an actual another guy controlling all the stuff for us.
There's a version of me out there who's a porn star. There's a version of me out there who is like,
really into astrology.
I mean, you have to consider them possibilities. Like, really,
Yeah.
you're limited by your imagination.
Yeah.
We could be in
Yar.
one of
Yar.
someone else's imagination.
Yeah, that's simulation theory is crazy. It's
Too
crazy.
much.
It's crazy theory. It's too much to think about. It is.
Like, maybe double the beers and I'll be there, but I don't think we got that sort of time to go into that depth.
That is depth. It's girthy. Okay, so are we
think it's
run
all-
through the rest of these?
We're not gonna get through all of them, but
Well, we can. You don't
Okay.
have to be. We can.
we
get the
lost
point
our
across. Oh, John, bring
lost
that
my
back up.
copy. What are you doing over there, John?
Smoking a joint,
Oh
Thinking.
yeah, I was gonna do that.
thinking.
All right,
All right, so let's go back down to that sun and that moon there.
Okay.
let's go back. Okay.
Okay. So we already talked about how they were in Cancer. They're also in the third house. So the signs have their own characteristics that go with them, but then the houses do as well. Okay, and these are all rotating as they're not rotating. We're rotating. They appear to be rotating as the Earth turns. So the third house, the third house has to do with communication, short distance travel, and it has to deal with education, but in like the primary sense. So like early education and like early childhood. So it has to deal with like siblings and things like that. The third house is ruled by Mercury, which has to do a lot with the communication. So I would say that deals with a lot of mental clarity and along with communication. Probably thoughts come pretty quickly and pretty easy. Probably pretty easy for you to figure those things out. And it's probably also easy for you to act on your thoughts pretty quickly because these are in a aspect with Mars. Mars has to deal with action and motivation, and it has to deal with aggression, but it's in like the sense of like, let's get this shit done. So I see a lot here with being able to come up and think of a plan and being able to execute that plan. That's intensified because Mars is in the sign of Aries, which is the sign that it rules. So anytime it's in its ruler or domicile, it's just intensified because it's like it's at home. It just feels very comfortable. So that's probably pretty strong. And Mercury is ruled by Gemini. So Gemini is right here in that second house, which is back in that house of money and possessions and materialistic things. So I have a feeling that you have some sort of plans that you're able to execute, think through, come up with, execute very quickly to get gains out of it, whatever that may be.
Come on, crypto.
Thinking of that.
Come on, crypto. Let's go.
Is that your thing? Because
Sort of.
so yeah, that seems to be like a big theme there, is just basically like being able to get shit done to make money, and that would be a really cool thing. So you have they're in that positive aspect with Mars here, and then they're in another positive aspect with Jupiter that connects back down to here. Jupiter expands. It brings in good fortune and good luck. So that just furthers all of that.
Sorry.
And
We were expanding.
Always
Always.
and forever.
Now, were you going to connect that?
are you gonna like that?
Yeah.
Elevate.
So, because I think all of this sounds like it has to do with work or something that you do, while I was pulling up your chart earlier, I decided I was going to look at where the current planets were. Please don't yawn while I'm talking.
Oh, it's not you.
No, that's an inadvertent yawn.
I've been up all day.
Yeah.
So have I. We all have, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Typical woman. So have I.
There's no sympathy.
You think you got
So have I.
There's no sympathy.
Understandable.
Anyways, so I decided I was going to throw where the current planets are. And this MC here, this is called your midheaven. So this is what was the highest point in the sky at the time you were born. So this is thought to be like where you shine out in the world. So it might not necessarily what you do in like your day-to-day like 9-to-5 job or whatever it is you do for your paycheck, but it's like what you do to be noticed or make a difference or whatever your thing is that you do to be out there. Does that make sense? So I put up the planets, and Pluto was just a couple degrees off of your midheaven. It looks, when did it go? April 11th. On April 11th, Pluto will be where it's at in the sky on that day, will be sitting at the same point as where the midheaven was, so the highest point in the sky when you were born. So whatever it is that you do, like the next couple months, I think are going to be really good for you to expand or transform or take some action, because Pluto is a planet that it builds things up, it transforms, and
Is this after the
creates-
2013 revision?
What?
It was declared not a planet at one point. I was just making a
It
dumb
Oh,
joke.
yeah,
still
yeah,
counts.
yeah.
Oh
After
yeah.
two-
Oh, that's when it was.
After
no.
2013
It still
or
counts.
something.
It's still a
Did
planet.
you
I
see
don't
that
care.
they're bringing it back? Bringing
Are
Pluto
they?
back. Yeah.
Good
Good.
Yeah, you're gonna bring it back as a
He
planet.
deserves
Planet.
and sexier.
Yeah, dude.
This time, sexy Pluto.
Finally.
Sexy Pluto.
It's replacing the green M&M.
Let's go.
So what would you relate that to? Do you have anything that you could relate that to? Let's stop for a minute. Is there anything so far that you can relate to in any sort of way? We'll start broad first.
Like what you were saying about the 9-to-5. Like that might not be what makes you shine or whatever. But there's other stuff that I would do outside of that. Not so much to shine, just it's my thing. That's what I like to do. That's
So you have something else that you do other than
work. Yeah. I do some stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Caudle Bros.
I like playing guitar. I do stuff with him. I play a lot of video games. I will go birding with my girlfriend.
Birding?
Yeah.
Birding.
Bird watching?
Bird
Birding.
watching?
Yep.
Okay. It's called birding.
Birding.
Okay.
Yep.
That's how you know you're not a true bird watcher.
Yeah, right.
Because you don't know what birding.
Stay out of my club.
You're not in the
I
club.
love. She downloaded some cool app one time. We were trying to figure out what this bird was, and it pretty much nailed that son of a bitch.
It does too.
Yeah. But I was bird watching. I wasn't birding yet.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, astrology. Yeah, it's not.
But what about that? What about this with these next few months? You think is there anything you got in the works here? This is the perfect time to drop something if you do got something going on. But do you have anything like that you can kind of think of that might relate to that, or no? Or do you just like, probably not?
Can you repeat what the prior
It was
Part was?
April.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
11th.
April 11th.
Yeah.
Was-
Yeah, with meaning the next few months here is could be what again? You say it.
Yeah, so there's just feels like if there's a time where whatever it is that you do that you enjoy to do
Mhm.
or kind of put yourself out there with, there's a lot of energy out there to build something up and to start something. So if there's something that you've been kind of like holding off on, or like maybe you had been holding off, but like okay, so Pluto is really far away from the sun, right? So it's the farthest away. So it moves very, very slowly. So these like transits is what it's called when two meet up. They're a little bit longer than like say a really fast moving planet like Mercury. Mercury moves super fast, so those transits come and go pretty quickly. So if there's anything that maybe a few months ago you weren't really thinking about, but then maybe within the last month or so you were thinking about maybe initiating, that's a very rough timeline because I'm not going to pretend like I know.
I mean, I changed to school focus. That's just about it.
Would you change the school focus?
Yeah, like I was going to school for something medical, and then I changed my focus to CAD.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty much like it could maybe pertain
Maybe
Right.
that will really work out for you, I think.
because that was like what I loved to do in high school. When it was time for that class, I was like,
But have you made any recent investments in crypto? Into anything new or anything like that?
not anything too new. Like I throw little stuff at the bigger coins. Like,
Okay.
I don't have Bitcoin. I just put it in Ethereum or
Ethereum? Yeah.
Ethereum 2. Which,
Yeah.
2.0.
yeah.
2.0. Well, there's 2.0 now?
Yeah.
they
Okay.
have
The
Ethereum
reason
too.
being because
No
like
shit.
sequel.
the reason being
That's
is
what for you can buy that NFTs with that, right? Or they're like
Okay.
mostly
I think
Ethereum. Okay.
I'd have
So
to read
weird.
through all their stuff again.
Maybe
Yeah, I
that
know.
maybe
So
that
weird.
could maybe some I'm just trying to think here, maybe an investment maybe that you make, maybe you see something come in hot here in the next month,
Ooh,
you make an
them
investment.
helium routers.
Maybe by
I
that
made
date
15
maybe
bucks.
it soars or something. Who
Yeah,
knows?
So that's the day that it's exact. I don't know. I think it's probably in effect now. So the next couple months or so.
We'll see what
See-
happens.
See what or if anything happens.
Yeah.
And that wasn't part of me pulling your birth chart. I was just like, let's see where the planets are and let's see if anything just lines up
Dang.
perfectly. And that one did. Yeah. So I kind of midheaven. I felt like kind of went along with all of that stuff there. You have another aspect here between these planets. So this one was a little triangle that we had here, right? So you have another triangle.
I see 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
Maybe I
These
should just keep going
triangles.
through this the way I went through yours.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never done this before.
Well, yeah, you just started here and then you just kind of went around with me, but
I did. I just went through the whole thing, and I'm just
Mhm.
kind of skipping around right now.
How do you make the triangles? I'm curious.
How do you make them? Oh,
Like what?
dude, I asked this question. This is where I got confused.
Yeah.
Was on the triangles.
Yeah, where do the triangles come from? How does it connect?
so
three
you
of them.
have set different aspects that there are. So you have like this one right here is a sextile. This is a 60-degree aspect. These right here, these are degrees.
Yep.
There's 30 degrees in each sign. So this aspect here is 60 degrees. That's called a sextile.
Okay.
So there's a 60-degree aspect. This one here is a trine. This is a 120-degree aspect. So there's these predetermined aspects that are in ancient texts that people have been translating within the last 50 or so years. And all of these rules with these aspects and delineations for the meanings for all of these planets and all of these signs and all of these combinations are in all of these texts.
Hmm.
From so there's different kinds of astrology, but if we're just looking at like where modern astrology came from, you're looking at like around like 100 to 300 AD time that these texts are all from that are being translated, you know, the earliest ones.
Yeah.
So these, and that goes back to what he was saying, where it's not like somebody who can sit here and say that they know exactly who you are by this, like as like in a psychic thing, they're wrong, because doing this and like
Most people I've
Something
ever
psychic?
met, actually.
well, that's not.
That's what makes me feel it's improper. Maybe it's them and their application. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's where this like popular astrology thing, this like fad, isn't really all that great for the tradition of astrology. There's a lot more people getting into it, but there's also a lot more people that
You're kind of like
Missed the
fair
point.
are
weather fans.
being turned off because of it. You shouldn't be like,
And that's why I
Like-
said
They get a
it
bad
missed the point.
horoscope. They're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
This one's not right.
This one's not right.
Then
So what was
tomorrow's
that?
will be.
Becky.
What was the name of that article?
Article. Okay.
I've watched a few things.
I was listening to this podcast earlier,
Oh,
and it was based off of this article that was.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, oh, why do white straight men hate astrology?
Type that in, John. Is that the
You can
article?
find it. Yeah,
It,
you'll find it.
it's
Pops
an
right up.
opinion piece, yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
an opinion?
And
Whose opinion are
she
we
talked.
taking?
You know, there's
Exactly.
a couple supposed guys that she talked to, and a
You know
couple
it's
of
true,
them.
though.
What?
It's true. Most white straight men fucking hate astrology. Like, fuck that.
Well, from reading that, it made me think that there's probably
yeah.
Well,
There it
we
is.
make up a little less than half of the Western world, so
Is it all the
at
Vice
least
piece?
pretend to care about astrology.
It's
I
on
like
Vice.
that.
It's a
one.
Vice article.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Vice. It's just a website. Home and sex. It's in the sex category.
Yeah.
In the home?
In the
In
home.
the home.
Scandalous.
The fuck?
What is this
The
site? There we go.
hell?
Go up. There was words up
Tell
there.
me Hannah Ewins.
Why? Quit blocking the title.
Stupid website, man. Just gotta keep scrolling and disappear.
It stops being an interest and becomes a personality trait.
That's not.
I'm
that's
an
not
astrology
wrong.
girl.
Yeah.
That's not wrong. I mean, it turns into part of your everyday because, let me tell you what, when you start looking
Joe
into
is
it,
a straight man in his 20s.
Like many men, he passionately rejects astrology. That was terrible. It strips people of their uniqueness and reduces them to a pigeonholed box of characteristics.
they
That's
already knew what you were gonna
you
say.
said.
Before you said it.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't like being a real logic lord about it. On some, I am the ultimate skeptic. Facts don't care about your feelings, compadre. However, I do find it really fucking irritating, and the memes are all really annoying, and I hate the self-aggrandizement.
Joe in his mid-20s
seasoned
listens to
bitches.
Ben Shapiro.
so dumbass article, but you can't say that it's wrong.
No, that was funny. That's pretty much. Yeah. Aren't you a Taurus? Yeah.
My wife is a Taurus. A very Taurus way of behaving. I've heard that from my wife. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So
I
there's
work with
always always two sides to everything, right? There's always like a good and a bad to everything. So I'm a Taurus too, and we're stubborn and unchanging and don't wanna give. That's like the stereotypical. Oh, and we like to overeat. Those are like the stereotypical Taurian things. But there's also
you're skinny as hell. You overeat?
that doesn't mean I don't like to eat.
Oh, I like to eat. I'm skinny too. I'll slam food.
Slam food.
But there's good and bad to everything. So there's also good sides to Taurus. They can
I
be
forgot where this was.
resourceful and reliable. So
Yeah.
there's There's good and bad to everything, and it just depends on how you decide to use it too. I think so. It depends on what you decide to do with it. So just because somebody says, meet somebody and they're like, oh, you're an Aries, so you're an asshole. It's not necessarily the case.
Aries the asshole.
So anybody that tries to say they definitively know you for a fact by looking at it, that's,
Yeah.
I think that,
Disingenuine.
yeah, because I mean, we are all individual. Now, do I think this makes us individual? Yeah, because nobody else, unless somebody else was born in the same area you were at the same time, then they're going to have the same chart.
Someone was.
Mm-hmm.
So, two babies born at the exact same time, they're going to have the same chart. But of all the people, I mean, it's pretty individualized because it depends. It's not just all of the babies born even at that time. It's also in that where you were. And like I said, I think you choose that. I think you lay that out. And I think you choose struggles for a reason.
And that's why you can compare it to a compass, because it's just kind of point you over. So you could just kind of go there, but you are free to do whatever the hell you want to. But that's why I wouldn't take it as, this is it. This is all the end all be all. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Might as well start acting like it.
We all are. So,
I think that though is like a good segue into like a bigger philosophical thing. But you guys already spoke about it earlier.
Yeah. And there's also
It's time. Your takes.
All right, what is it?
I
It's funny you're cutting it.
yeah.
I'm good on that. Thank you.
Just the why, right? Like, why does the position of the planets influence us? Why the Earth is where
Is that what
human
you were going to
beings
say?
popped up and
Huh? Oh,
right.
okay.
It's all stuff that I know I've asked my wife before, and she also can't give me a definitive answer. So I know I'm probably just throwing.
Well, no, we're all. I mean, it's all.
Yeah.
We're all just throwing out our ideas and guesses,
Yeah.
anyways, right? Like I said, that's what it all is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because my answer is because everything is energy and it's all part of one. It's all part of a big. It's all part of the cosmos and what everything is, the infinite.
What happens when the constellations fall apart?
Whoa. We'll find out. We'll find out
believe
when.
you had something for
'Cause-
that.
Because the constellations are already in different positions from when the first astrologers actually recognized them. So it's consistently changing. If the center point is Earth, right? Like if the center point is your location and you were a being that lived forever on the Earth, where the constellations and where the stars fall
That's
will
one of
stop
the.
aligning.
That's
at
one
some
of the.
point.
That's one of the big debates that they're having right now, actually, and I can't speak a whole lot on that because I'm not going to say anything that I don't know, but there is a method for fixing that and changing that if you want to,
So wait a
and
minute.
adjusting that.
What stars are going to stop aligning? What do you mean?
Because, like, from your
What do you guys
position
mean?
on Earth,
Yeah.
the stars will continue to get in different positions based on how they move through
Yeah.
through space and how the Earth and the solar
Axis.
system around
Has
it
to
moves
do
through
with
space.
The tilt or
And
something, I
so,
think.
at some point, the
believe.
way astronomers back in the day viewed this constellation will no longer look anything like that constellation.
Oh.
It'll be an
Right,
offset.
it'll be offset. The stars will explode and go supernova,
Right.
and they won't be there anymore. There'll
No
just be a
shit.
huge gas cloud there. Stuff like that. Like, even from the time they've discovered this, from what they had calculated on the calendar, it was like a month off from when they first started charting these.
Well, isn't
Right,
it
based
crazy?
off
Isn't
the-
it crazy how they're all still there though? They're still there.
Yeah.
Like since this was created, like it's still there. Like how many stars have exploded since then? How,
Well, that's the
how
thing
often
is
does a
that-
star when
Within our visible
Yeah, if it's
Yeah, like how long does it take for when a star dies, like the average amount of time until it explodes, or when it explodes?
so that's why they measure
Like an average
distance
star
in light
life.
years in space is
Yeah.
because that's how many years it would take for us to notice. So like
Right,
the star
right.
that we can see out in the night sky is 10 million light years away. When it blows up, we won't know about it until 10 million years later.
Right.
Right. So that's the thing about this is
Hell
like
yeah.
all these
Yeah.
stars could have exploded.
Vaporize.
Like right now. They could have all exploded and we would have no idea for another million or so
Some
years.
years, which we
Right.
don't know.
Yeah,
of.
That's
We-
well,
unfair.
we,
Yeah.
well, we just don't know when it exploded.
Yeah, exactly.
So
We wouldn't-
once it went out, we would be like 10 million years ago that thing exploded.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they perceive space when they
Right.
look at it. Is from we're looking into the past essentially.
But
'cause we're getting
it
light.
might not have exploded.
Yeah, exactly.
don't
But
know.
that's what I'm saying is that the uncertainty and
Do we know how
How-
long a lifespan of a star is? Like average?
ours is a moderate star. It's about 10 billion years.
Our star being the sun?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the sun is a moderate sized star.
And it's about how long you said?
10 billion years.
That's
is-
where you got
is
the 10
average
billion
life.
number?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 billion
Billion.
is the
yeah, 10
average
billion.
lifespan of a star, I believe.
Sorry. Yeah. Billion.
So
So if this is when you were born, how much do you think that changes within your lifespan? Because if we're looking at this from your point of view, and this is the time you were born, then
I'm
where
just-
they were, then how much do you think that skews for your lifespan? Because you're looking for this is all from your point of view, so it has to be looking at it from your lifespan.
yeah, but we don't know when Mike was born if any of these stars were eliminated
I also
at that point. We just know
Right.
that we could see their light.
I hope my time estimation was correct because
Oh,
I
here we
found an
go.
old ass document in my wallet.
Here we go.
You said estimation?
What do you have? Two something in the morning?
Ooh,
2:08.
2:59 a.m.
Ooh.
I found it
Oh.
earlier.
And you waited till now to look at it, or
But
you
it's
looked at
alright.
it earlier.
No, I didn't look at it earlier. I was cleaning stuff out and I saw what it was and I was like, I should open this later. I know.
Well, we're still having a nice little conversation.
It's my bad.
Oh
I
my
should.
No,
goodness.
I felt like bringing it out earlier.
Oh my goodness.
But-
Where's the,
That's funny.
you should get the laptop. How much does that change from looking at like
For
And,
50
and
minutes.
would you be able
for
to
50? Yeah. How long?
like
How
now
long
that
does-
we have the right time?
Yeah,
Are
we
you-
could get it.
Because I would still be interested. You don't have to go through the whole
Astro.com.
thing.
What's I'm way late on that, but I
Come on
still
now.
wanted to
It's
hit it.
okay.
Oh, you're gonna have him go on there? You're gonna have John do it? I
Yeah,
thought you were
just-
just gonna
Will
grab your
there be-
No,
laptop.
you just pull it right up on here.
Will there be any
Okay.
drastic
Um,
like changes? It's almost.
I'm not sure because you have quite a few that are fairly close to like the cusp into the line, so
Okay,
it's
now
possible.
what?
So I don't know for
Where
sure.
does he go?
Okay.
Horoscopes.
So hit the three little lines over. Oh, I don't know. Maybe signed in over here.
The
okay.
hamburger.
Hit the three little lines. And I have to log into my account and everything. Okay,
Why
my
don't you just go
Astro.
grab your laptop?
And just put it right here.
Yeah. It's. I mean, who fucking cares? I mean, we just do it. Let's do it. Just grab a laptop. Be a lot easier. You can do it. Just pull it up. Yeah, dude, that's funnier than hell. Because you came back with that shit so quick when I messaged you. I was like, "So what time you're born?" You're like, "Boom!" I'm like,
2:08.
"Damn, this motherfucker!" Like,
It's
Ew.
been years and years since I've even looked at it, and like
you should
earlier,
keep
I
that
was-
thing in your wallet. You shouldn't do that.
I know,
Like, you should keep it at home in like a safe or something. Like,
I know.
you lose that some bitch. It's hard to get. Like, it's hard to get the fucking. It was a bitch for me. I know that.
I just stopped
carrying.
carrying my social security card everywhere.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, that too. Don't fucking carry that around.
No, I don't mean to feel like a dick or anything. Like I found it earlier and was like, oh my god, I could have looked at it. I was like, for the life of me, I always thought it was like 2:08 or like just after 2.
I'm gonna make a clip of that. He's gonna be like, I found this document, unfolding it. Just
What if he had the wrong day on it too?
oh.
Everyone remembered what day he was born on wrong.
Yeah, right. No shit. Like you fucking got your birthday wrong.
I was looking at it, and there's like different dates and your birthday on it, and you have to be real careful because like
Yeah.
it almost looks like I was born on July 12th,
What
and
day?
then the
Oh, 14th.
document wasn't done until the 14th. So I'm like,
Oh, right.
is that how they really base it? Like 2 days later, your document was filed or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, the thing about birth times too is who is paying that close attention. So the times are
Hopefully someone
also
in the OR.
yeah, but depending on what all's going on,
Yeah,
especially
normally they got a person. Like I thought, you know, it calls out the time.
I thought that
You
was when
hope
you
so.
die.
that's even less
Yeah,
accurate.
yeah.
It's not always somebody there.
It's even less. Yeah,
Time
no
of
shit.
death.
Right.
Oh,
You
yeah,
find
just
somebody-
die alone in your room.
Yeah,
is it 258?
exactly.
259.
59.
Yeah.
Dang.
Almost 3.
Yeah, you just die in the room, and somebody finds you later. Oh, got another one.
Oh, it's about 4:25.
Hey, Bill. Hey,
Hey.
Bill.
I mean,
Hey, Bill.
Don't they do that
He's
with
Canadian.
like
Hey, Bill, we got another one, eh?
bag 'em and tag 'em, Bill?
No, Bill was the guy on the bed. You know, hey, Bill. Hey, Bill.
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Yep.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Hey, Jim Bob, get over here.
Ooh, looky there.
Looky there, get him out of here. What's this all about?
Bag him and tag him.
Back him and tag him. Get him out of here.
It's about 4:25. in the
4:25.
afternoon.
Beautiful day.
Bag him and tag him.
Beautiful day to die,
It's just beautiful. So, how much did we change here? It doesn't look like. Is it a lot here? Well, that
Huh? The midheaven has changed.
the mid, yeah.
So
midi.
fuck that thing I said about Pluto, because that's already.
They're out.
See.
Yep.
All right, so that did change a lot.
That's yeah.
Okay.
Well, that
Whoa.
part did, but other than that, what else?
That looks. Well, yeah. I mean, I feel that
This
would
was
be
the old chart.
a slower dial than everything else.
Yeah, that AC is now in here.
So
Whatever that is.
so it's no longer Taurus rising. Now it's Gemini rising.
Whoa. Okay.
Are you Gemini?
Gemini.
And all of those planets that I was talking about being in the third house are now in the second house.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
Wow.
Oh, no shit. Oh.
So these constellations are aligned compared to like where you are on the Earth, and based
Or-
on like the sky above you, not
Yeah.
on just the Earth.
Yeah, that's why you have to know the birthplace,
Okay.
which is Flint, Michigan, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That's why I said how much.
Yeah.
I wonder how much the planet, how much it shifts like within that time period, I guess, or something. I don't. So yeah, Gemini rising. Gemini.
So fuck all these notes.
I'm so sorry.
All right, let's go
You
off
had
the cuff
ample
here.
time to let them know too.
All right.
That was way better waiting to open that.
Yeah.
As annoying as it is. Thought that was my actual heartbeat.
What do we got? All right. For real. For real.
So Gemini is all about communication and mental thought processes. So that one is ruled by Mercury, which is now in the second house over here, still in Cancer. So it still brings in the
Excuse
I'm
you.
sorry. These Rubaeuses make me gassy. I can't help it. Rubaeuses. Rubaei? Rubaei.
Correct.
Correct.
So that brings in much more of a social piece than Taurus, because Taurus is much more just like slow and firmly planted on the ground, where Gemini is much more lots of thoughts kind of all over the place.
I heard that.
Did everybody hear that?
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
Ooh. That was
Spicy.
cool.
it. Yeah, spicy.
So in the first house you have Venus. Venus rules things like material possessions and harmony and beauty and love and things like that. So that would come along into maybe the communication and ease with communication with I don't know if I want to be over here next to it. Wow, this thing's falling off.
I'm no longer dude.
No, you're Mike.
No, you have a name now.
Oh
Good
yeah, you're
job.
Mike now. Oh yeah.
You've ascended.
Uh, you still have that link in there with Mars up here in Aries. Oh, you still have the whole thing there. Okay, so that's all there, but instead of being in the third house, it's in the second house and the 11th house. So connecting the second house to the 11th house is about community and groups and other people. So that would connect that to money and possessions. So now
He had to give me props for it. That's why I laughed.
I wasn't that ballsy to go right in the mic, though.
So now that's in the 11th house. I would connect that with groups of people and communities, and maybe not like service to other people, but more like humanitarian type service. Your sun and the moon are now still in the second house, so this brings a lot more like, so before I was focusing just a lot more on like communication. This brings it more into like material possessions and money and like the value you place on things instead of communication. Let's see.
Can I get it? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Me and my wife do that all the time.
Anyway. Where's my
So what
crickets? Yeah, we're going off the cuff here, but yeah.
Yep.
So do you value you place high value upon your things? Do you value things highly? Like if it comes to like trying to sell something,
Yeah, I'd like to retain value to things.
you know, like you
I place a
value your
value on
possessions, like
People.
maybe sometimes you value it more than probably it's worth, just because it's yours. You
Yeah.
value things like that.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
would say I do.
Because some people like me, you know, like I have some, you know, sometimes I just want to get rid of the shit. I don't even care no more. Give me $50. Get the fuck out of here. You know?
So do you feel like you identify with like the cancer part at all? So that has to deal, that goes into like emotional. Emotional doesn't necessarily mean like boohoo crying. It can be like passion, right? Passionate about something, because still feeling emotion.
Yeah.
Emotional, intuitive, kind of just like feeling like you have a knowing of things, of like what to do. Imaginative, so that's able to come up with things in your head. Family oriented. Cancer can be very family oriented, so liking to care for yours and your people, whoever your people are in your family. Cancer has to deal with the mother, so it has to do with like nurturing. So sometimes, depending on conversation when you're doing a reading, sometimes you can find mother figures within Cancer, or by the mood sometimes, but that takes a little knowing and a little conversation. Because you have both the sun and the moon in Cancer, so I would think you would feel that somewhat. And then what did I? It's still in the third. Thank you. We're gonna continue to do that. So it's also they're both in the third, what's called the Third Deacon. So those degrees are broken up into groups of 3s. So when we say that the planet is in this sign, we can break that down a little further and connect it to...
Wait a minute.
It's still in the third.
It's
still
okay.
in the third, so it
right.
still applies because it's still the same sign.
Okay.
So we can break it down a little further by the deacon. If it's in the first, second, or the third, tells you which one of the other signs that are within that element that it also rules. So since it's in the third, that would bring in Pisces in with Cancer. And if I'm going to bring Pisces in with Cancer, then I would definitely bring in that emotional and that imaginative side. And that's like not necessarily like creating something physically, but more like thinking of things and like being able to come up with things in your head. Maybe in scenarios that are like beyond the realm of possibility because it's in your head. It's not like physically created.
Would you relate that to anything? Maybe even like music? I mean, you've been playing music for a while. What was that? What was the local band that you were in for a while?
After the Minor.
After the Minor. God dang. For me, I always confuse you guys, A Sleepless Malice, and I think there's another band that was kind of... It just seemed like they're not similar names really at all, really. After the Minor or Sleepless Malice, but I always like kind of blended.
Is it the A?
Maybe. It might be.
A Silence.
No, it wasn't A Silence. Absorbed. Yep. No, it was probably just those two after the Minor. Did you guys play a lot of shows together? Or no?
Yeah, I mean, I played for 9 years with them.
With After the Minor?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I meant like with
A
Sleepless Malice.
Oh,
Or no.
Probably.
Probably, I would imagine.
I think that entirety.
I
they
saw
were
a
active.
Sleepless Malice with After the Minor quite a few times.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot of their merch, and I mean, that's why we work with Jeff doing videos and everything.
Right.
It's
Right.
Abstract, Eclipse.
And Kyle, right? We go to him for vocals if we need
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. So 9 years and After the Minor, though?
Yep.
So you do a lot of like writing for the band? Your mic, move it towards you.
Oh, yeah.
Eat it.
Eat
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
Eat
I
it.
did the rhythm guitar for them, and for the majority, I worked with Alex Ricketts, and he was like the creative player, and
Okay.
a lot of stuff was built around his ideas, which were always great. like everyone's ideas all came together, and
Mhm.
like we all just were able to make what we did behind with every influence that we had.
Was
It
there
was fun.
ever-
There was no real like rhyme or reason to whatever song we made, but I think that was kind of cool because each one would have its own sort of identity or feel.
Right.
So like that was kind of what was fun about it. It wasn't set to a genre. Like we could do some clean.
Yeah, no,
vocals
you
and
guys
stuff,
definitely
and-
broke the mold. From I remember seeing you guys. You guys played. I think either one of my bands played a show with you, or I seen you guys at one of the shows. But yeah, I remember you guys playing.
They were fun.
Was there ever times though where you thought that you could have been more creative, but you just couldn't do it? Just
Oh yeah.
for the way the band was going or whatever, you're just like maybe you like didn't get to release that or something, you know?
Sort of. I mean, for me, I just felt tired, I guess, or like there was nothing for me to really make again.
With
I
the-
wasn't
yeah.
making things as consistently. It just kind of dropped off. It wasn't anything I was wanting to pursue, like in a band, if I didn't have ideas.
Mm.
So, plus I was just tired. Like,
Right.
I went through a third shift lifestyle to a traveling, but still trying to maintain a band, and
Yeah.
so it was like it was hard to maintain.
Right. So then, so Caudle Bros though.
Yeah.
So when did you start that though?
About
It's
a
been
year
like
and a half ago.
Year and a
yeah.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the goal with Caudle Bros?
We just want to do something different. We've both had people yell at us to like do guitar together for years.
Mhm.
Probably most of our guitar playing
Yeah.
life.
What band have you played in any bands?
I played in the realm between.
The Realm Between.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard of that one too.
Yeah.
So nasty.
So
It's so nasty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the music, but I've definitely heard the name.
yeah. It was more like kind of. It wasn't prog death or anything. It was more like tech death because it was technical, but there
Mm.
wasn't as much like prog stuff, like odd time signatures and stuff. I wrote most of the music for it.
Okay.
I came in as a replacement member and basically took over the band. 'Cause
Damn.
I was like, your stuff kind of sucks right now. And I remember,
But we can work with this.
right? Yeah, the drummer is he was a music major going to U of M Flint. So he knew a lot about music. Everyone else did not. So everyone else had no idea what they were doing. The guitarist at our place was a kind of a dickhead,
Okay.
and he left. He just wanted to like reuse Lamb of God riffs,
Oh,
right?
okay,
Like
right,
he was
right.
that guy. But we got in there, and they had a few guys lined up, and I was the first one to come in and like audition for this local band that no one had heard of. And, yeah.
Right.
And I learned like 2 of their prior songs right there in the audition with the singer because the other guitarist wasn't there. And then we jammed "Laid to Rest" by Lamb of God just because I knew it offhand. And then I started talking music with the drummer, which no one else knew, like music theory, like modes, scales, chords, stuff like that.
I
And
don't know all
he
that.
was like, we had other
You do?
people.
I don't know all that shit.
He was like-
I don't
was
even know
like-
how to read sheet music.
he was
Prepare
like-
for this.
And he didn't even tell me that I was going to be a part of the band, but I was on going to a road trip the next weekend to Florida with my buddy and his dad to go get some furniture. So I brought my laptop and wrote music. Like I wrote 2 songs back and forth from Florida and sent it to him, and I'm like, here's what I got. And they were like, we had other guys lined up, but we want you.
We want you. Yeah.
And yeah, so I wrote, I think our drummer wrote 1 song and I wrote the other 11 for like our first album.
Like you wrote the
But-
whole thing, like drums, guitar, everything.
Yep.
Oh man.
And I
The
wroed
Kavorkia.
the
Yeah.
vocals for 10 of the songs.
See,
out
I
of
would have
12.
fucking hated that as a drummer. I would have been like, no, we fucking jam it out.
Our drummer loves it because I just do a skeleton. So I
Yeah.
do like, here's how I want this. Like I want this part halftime. and then he just
Okay.
adds whatever he wants.
So you
so
just
I
kind of
don't,
put like a simple beat
Yeah.
in there. You don't fill it up and be
Yeah.
like, I want you to do this fill. And
yeah.
Yeah,
Like I'll be
oh.
like, I want this section to go dun 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 dun, and he'll just use that and then do his own thing.
Yeah.
Peter is very
Peter's
astute.
Peter's like think of like what you think of when you see like an autistic person play the piano, right? Like they're really good at it.
Okay, all right.
Right?
Okay.
Like autistic people just
They
happen to
love
be
it.
better
Yeah.
at that
It's
kind of
awesome.
stuff. Peter is that for the drums.
Okay.
He's just amazing. Like I'll write a riff that's in 4/4. It's just 1 2 3 4 1 2, and he'll like add odd meters to it and make it sound so wicked. Like, and that's why like I write the drums as like a skeleton because I know Peter's good enough to like format it however he wants to fit the song. But that's not like my strong suit. That's why every time I get a guitar, when I create guitar profiles for us, and we don't
What's
have
Guitar Pro on now? What are you at now? 7 or 8?
7.5.
7.5.
But whenever I write something for Caudle Bros music, and we don't have a drummer to do live drums on it,
Yeah.
or we can't find one that's cheaper than $400, like the drummer of Rings of Saturn. I just send it to him, and I'm like, I'll give you $50 to like rearrange the drums in Guitar Pro, so I can just export the MIDI and send it to Joe Santangelo,
San Angelo.
and he puts it through Superior Drummer or whatever. But Peter can write drums, he can play drums. I mean, the dude's a monster.
Nice.
So, but yeah, he doesn't mind me outlaying the song because he understands what I want to feel out of it.
Right.
Right, because a riff with a halftime groove is gonna feel way different than a groove with a double time.
Right. For
Right?
sure.
So at least he understands what I want out of the song
yeah,
before
like I
he
want
does.
this part to slam
Yeah.
and I want this part to be fast.
Yeah,
and-
so
yeah.
so it makes the experience more cohesive.
Mhm. Yeah.
and
I
I
mean,
think I'm
there's
pretty good at-
advantages to it too,
yeah.
because then when you guys do get together to jam, it's like, okay,
Everyone already knows
we
their
kind of
stuff.
know what we're supposed to do. Now let's just do it live.
It's like
Yeah.
free flowing language.
yeah.
Like when two people can just do this, and they have the capability to
Yeah.
like communicate that idea.
Right.
It's kind
It's
of
cool.
it's kind of cool. I was put in a good position where like, because I am a creative. I've been writing music since I was 14. I can still find some of it on YouTube. It kind of sucks now, but
Right.
like it was.
Did you say this band is still active or not active anymore?
It's like in hiatus.
Hiatus, okay.
It went from us. We used to practice in my drummer's upstairs, but he lives with his mom because he was going through college and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then COVID happened, and she wouldn't let anyone in the house, and she still
Oh.
won't. So we were like, we got to find another place to practice.
Yeah, dude.
And then our bassist dad was finally like, you can practice in my basement. But then our bassist started working another job that required him to use his hands a lot, and he's like, dude, my hands hurt way too much to play bass. And
What?
it's just one of those things that feels like
Really?
something that I don't know.
Is he
I'd
not
like to
wearing
get back
gloves
to it
at
because
work?
I think our music was really good, and I like Caudle Bros because we can do whatever we want,
Right.
and I don't have to stay to a stipulation. Like the Realm Between does this.
Right.
The Caudle Bros music does whatever it wants, and that's what I love about like YouTube. Is you can do video game covers if you want. You can do originals. You can do regular covers because we covered a Lamb of God song. Like it's limitless, and we can make it whatever we want. It can be rock. It can be prog. It can be
And now
death
you guys
metal.
just came out with like a tutorial thing too.
yeah.
You start doing that more?
Yep. So that's how we started.
Was tutorials.
Originally was because what I wanted. I'm big into music theory and how like music works.
And I learned a lot from him alone.
Yeah, right.
And what I wanted because I kind of learned from my own volition when I was a teenager, because I was interested in writing music, and I asked my dad. My dad doesn't know a whole lot,
But he shreds.
but he was like, well, there are scales like the minor scale and
Ridiculous.
stuff, and you know, you can use them to put up a song. So we knew enough to say that, and it set me on the path to like learn everything there is to know about how music works. But I've found a lot of stuff is either super complicated or it talks to you like you're a baby. And I really wanted something that talked to like a guitarist like us who want to make rock metal music. We're not children or anything, like we're adults.
Yeah.
So like, here's how this is. I'm not going to talk to you like you're stupid, right? I'm going to tell you what it is. We're going to show you
Here's
an example of like what this scale sounds like when it's put into practice.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're just going to tell you the basics of it. And you can go on and, you know, figure it out
And exactly
yourself.
like kind of how to do it too.
Yeah.
Like where, you know,
The rest
kinda
is just
line it
practice
out.
and application.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
it your own.
So that's kind of what I wanted to do. And I don't know who brought it up first doing the YouTube channel, but
Me.
Yeah.
it
seemed
was
fun and new.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, well, this would be cool, and then we kind of stumbled into
Coronavirus. And then inevitably.
But I before we even started the page, I was making a Metroid Prime medley. And we were just talking about it, and he's like, you gotta throw Brinstar in there. And I was making this, and at like a year and a half later, we're like, we should like make this. And that's when we started working with Jeff. That was our first professional video, because that was the first song we got like professionally mixed. It's the first
Had a
video.
professional drummer.
Yeah, had a professional. No, we didn't.
Oh, that was Peter.
Because he just
Might as well be.
and that was another one, Metroid Prime. That
The video was cool for
Yeah.
that one.
The
John,
video
you should
was
just
cool.
bring that one up and we'll show it. You guys mind if we
No.
put it? Okay.
please.
Just bring that one up.
But yeah, that was one that I got Peter to go through this song and change the drums and rewrite it to what you think is best. And then I just exported the MIDI and sent it to Joe San Angelo.
Export
And
the
he-
MIDI.
Yep. So that was one where Peter wrote the drums for it.
Right.
So after I laid out like the skeleton and stuff like that, he made it really tasteful. And that's what I love about him.
Like,
But
it was different than the original, which, you know, listen to it a million times and get familiar with it. When someone else's rendition comes out and you can like feel his personality, like how he went with each groove and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude's good.
But yeah, that was a great video. But that was when we started to get like more like, let's do like professional looking things. Right, because I think the thing...
Well, there's like on your channel right now, there's like a stark difference.
Yeah.
You look at it, you got like 6 videos for the last ones. Like you look at the latest 3 and the 3 before, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
They stepped up.
That
They
was
stepped up their
like-
game.
Because you
Like,
never know which video is going to hit the algorithm, right? And
Right.
You want that video to look
good.
your best.
Yeah, no, they look good. Unmuted. Copyright.
I think we did a little
We're taking
research
you
on
down.
that. Though. Like,
you got no.
it's in
we
the
should be
public
good.
domain.
Yeah. Is it really that sound?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you guys didn't get flagged.
Jeff did great with these.
Yeah, these are cool.
And it's offered
The
at
video
the highest
overlay-
quality ever.
Video overlays are
Oh,
fun to mess with.
phenomenal.
So who'd you say did drums for this one?
Peter wrote them,
Okay.
and then Joe programmed them in Superior. There was a part while we were filming this where I kept having to yell at Mike because he was playing the wrong part.
This is way more intense guitar than I was used to in my own band. So this is like the coolest it's just it's fun to be able to play something like this. Plus, I love Metroid. Do you even recognize any of the melodies from it?
I wasn't a huge Metroid dude. What about you, John? So. For a Metroid, yeah.
Jeff and Aaron built like a spaceship behind us, and
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. It was
Yeah, we were talking about that when they came on, about how they built the whole surrounding around it and the lights and put it all in there to make it look like a spaceship.
He had to borrow and buy more quasars to make that.
That background is all lunch trays that are flipped around and painted chrome and black.
No shit.
We had
Lunch
to
trays.
refilm this first part. So those, you can see them like
You
they're
turn
like,
the volume down a little bit, John, on there? Well, we can talk over it. Whoop.
Uh-oh.
That's good.
There.
But yeah, those shutters you can see, they look like windows with shutters in
Oh,
them.
yeah, right there. To the right.
They were originally green screens. And he got so sick of trying to key them out that he was like, dude, I hate to ask this, but can you guys come back and refilm this first part?
Damn.
So yeah, this is actually like refilmed compared to and it was like 2 weeks out from when we had originally filmed it or something like that.
Damn.
You can tell because I think I forgot to like wipe my guitar off before it. And since it's matte black, you can see every single fingerprint on it. And at the end of the video, it looks all clean and nice.
Yeah, there's a couple fingerprints on there.
yeah.
I mean, you can't see it too bad.
If you're
but
not looking for it,
yeah.
you probably won't notice.
I was totally eyeballing it up. So, how do you like those guitars without the headstock, man? I mean, you see you using it here.
They
You
weren't something.
Big fan or what?
Now that I own that
Talk right
one,
on that mic.
now that I own that one, I really love just like they're small. They handle really well.
Light.
Yeah, like it feels like a very modern guitar in a way. Like the headstock thing, I don't care.
Okay.
It doesn't
I don't
bug
like
me.
You
it.
don't like it?
I like
That's
a nice
traditional.
reverse inline headstock. Whatever
Yeah.
I've got on my Kiesel, that's what I like. It's nice. I like the tuning keys. I grew up with a Jackson Dinky. My dad had a Jackson.
Was it that red one?
Yeah.
That was the same
And-
one I had too.
And you had to use the like, because it was a floating bridge. Even though he had it like he had a block of wood in there that stopped it. You had to use the fine tuners on it to really get to the note that you wanted on it to get in tune. And I just hate it so much. And when headless guitars came out and you had to use fine tuners to tune it, I was like, I can't.
I can't.
I can't. I'm not.
can't.
And I've even played a few. Alex Ricketts has let me play one. I've played his too, and it's just, I don't know. Something about the weight you feel in the neck from the headstock just makes it feel like you're really like handling the guitar, right? Like when you play it and you bend and you're just going up, and that weight kind of feels, it's intimate to me, right? Like
Yeah.
when you're playing music.
That's a valid reason. You don't
Yeah.
really hear people say that about why they dislike it too much. We had to change this part too because we had the green screen. Oh yeah, that was part of the green screen. We were supposed to like dive out of our chair onto the ground and lights were supposed to fall. Like we got hit by a missile.
Oh.
But we couldn't find really good footage or someone to make that, green screen creation.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I tried to find a guy on Fiverr to just make a missile
Oh,
animation.
yeah.
And he was like,
Is that what it's called? Fiverr?
Fiverr. And he
Oh.
was like, what's your budget? And I was like, we were thinking like $100. And he's like, no. I was like, for a missile animation? You literally have to find like something on the internet because you can find 3D models for free and then just animate it with smoke behind it. That's all you have to do. $100, like I know, like graphic artists, like they put a lot of effort into their craft. I should
All right, you can
know
stop this, John.
Like I should know I'm a musician, right? Like I know how much effort goes into a craft.
Right.
But I'm asking for 15 seconds of work. You know, like if I was asking you to make some battlefield outside of it or something, like I would get
Right.
it, you know, or something that's like a minute long.
Yeah.
I'd pay probably $200 for a whole minute of animation if it's really like in depth.
Some
talking-
people
we're
are
talking
like,
about-
people are
we're
like,
t-
fuck you.
Yeah.
$200
So, yeah,
for a minute of animation. Or, yeah, you can kiss my ass.
We redid that too. So
Yeah, it
because-
was Jeff had a really cool idea of just, you know, as we're moving through this video, we're going through terrain. So now we're arriving at Magmore Caverns, and it's just overwhelming pressure and heat. So shit starts going fucky, and finally, like, stuff reboots. And he came up with that idea, like, clutch like that. And it was
Jeff's
just,
a genius. I
Yeah.
love him.
Yeah.
He's
Cool
He's
dude.
awesome. I would.
Him
don't
and,
think-
him and Aaron brought a fucking cooler.
Yeah.
I remember
for the
I
pod.
watched it.
I was like, oh yeah, they're bringing a cooler for this shit.
they thought ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I love working with him because I don't have to have any ideas.
Yeah,
We'll send him the music we have and be like, "Here you go, be creative with it." Like because he enjoys it. Like
yeah,
he's kind of like me, and the craft he's taken, like he enjoys molding it himself.
right.
Right. He uses Aaron as like a back and forth too, but
Yeah,
like Jeff loves like creating a scene in his head and putting it.
yeah. Well,
together.
yeah. Abstract Eclipse
And-
is Aaron, I mean
Jeff.
Jeff. You know, yeah. Aaron, yeah.
Aaron's got, you know, a good eye, too.
Oh yeah,
That's why
he
they work
definitely
well
does.
together.
Yeah,
But that's why I love just when we did Lydian that we just posted, that Lydian lesson, all we did was like play him the song.
On
And it
Guitar
wasn't
Pro.
even finished. Like, yeah, it was a Guitar Pro audio file. And he's like, candles. I want candles. And at first he said like a side of a barn or whatever outside, but then he changed it with like we bought a bunch of black what is it called?
It almost sounds like a Jewish word.
Yeah, it's
Some
a
ketzpah.
it's a fabric.
Okay.
But
Muslin.
Yep, black muslin, and the whole entire his garage was just covered.
Yeah, it
in
looked
black
good.
muslin.
It looked good with the black.
But then he put the candles together and
Dollar
Dude.
General candles.
Yeah, dude. And then you go through the whole tutorial section.
Yeah,
You do the
and-
playthrough. I
and
liked
that was
it.
all
It
that
was
was
good.
all Jeff. Like I didn't come up with any of it.
For the
Same
for the video. So he told you
Yeah.
you should do this here.
Yeah.
You should put the tutorial part here.
Same with Metroid Prime. He kind of
Okay.
asked us about the.
So you guys didn't go into it with a tutorial in mind.
No, we did.
You said, okay, I want to do
We
a
did.
tutorial.
We're gonna do
you
a-
tell me how
we're
to
gonna
do the
a video
tutorial.
lesson. Yeah.
Yeah, based on
Yeah.
our prior videos, like the
Yeah.
layout that we had, he
Yeah.
kind of worked with what we were doing, and
Okay.
from
Yeah.
there it just, you know,
We
Right.
let him
Yeah, the
handle the
outlet.
animations and
Yeah.
what the set was going to look like. Same with Metroid Prime and the Faded Line. We're like, here's what we're going to do. Like, how do you want it to look? And the Faded Line was really cool because he kind of did the same thing, but he did like the black muslin with the quasars that were really cool, and just had separate takes of all of us doing our own thing separately and put it together. And yeah, we just kind of give Jeff the horns. I like because I don't like thinking about that stuff.
Right.
I mean, you can like I have some knowledge of like video editing and stuff. My wife is a photographer, but she's not a videographer, and I'm not a professional. So
Yeah.
so it's and I'd rather spend my time creating music
yeah.
and like learning how to play it and being good at my craft than thinking about like what the visuals are gonna look like.
Right.
I'm gonna let someone like Jeff, who like
Especially when you got somebody that is gonna
Yeah.
come up with some badass shit.
he's gonna come up with anything better than me. I could not think of an idea for a video that's better than what Jeff could come up with.
Right.
Like it's impossible. I really do. Like if you're coming to Jeff with your own idea, it's probably worse than what he would have thought of. That off the top of my head, because the dude is just phenomenal. I mean, he has a gift for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah,
I
no,
couldn't
he's
talk
got
better
some
of him.
badass shit. Abstract Eclipse Productions.
I got a
For sure.
video. Sorry, excuse me. I know, dry throat. I got a video of
You
Peter.
need, you need another refreshment?
Man,
All I have is Bud Light or water.
I would take either.
I'll take
Okay.
a water, please.
We were filming Peter drumming during the faded line, and it was just a real intense moment. And Jeff's in there real close to this camera, and the drumstick must have slipped, and it like pegs Jeff right up there, and he like gets stunned. And I caught it in the video.
You want one or no?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was hilarious.
So, I want to ask about the money thing.
Money?
Yeah, on here.
Oh,
Seems like money comes easy though. So has it kind of like not really been like a, you know, not to say that you've been privileged or anything, but to say that like, you know, you've had a direction and, you know, your career path and everything, and money's kind of been like a, you know, not like you've been like a non-issue, but, you know, does that make sense at all? Because it seems to heavily keep coming back to money on there. I just kind of like, you know, has it been like a non-issue thing?
well, I tried to go to college. Like, I've worked pretty much my whole legal life, and it was never like I didn't have a path. I just was dumb, I guess, but not in a I'm a dumb person way.
Yeah.
I wanted to do my own thing because I always felt things were trying to be pushed in a different direction. So I wanted to do my own thing, and like I've gone every which way, but I've learned like a lot of really good skills before actually figuring out like the path I needed to do. And it's been like a struggle, but with money, always. Like, addicted to overtime. You gotta work, miss everything.
So you've really been like a go-getter on that money.
So you put a
All the
big value
time.
on money.
Big
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 time.
value. Yeah.
I might as well be an Oriental man. But you know, I like to spend as well. But I take care of what needs to be taken care of, and
Yeah.
got to make sure it's, you know, everything's paid for.
Yeah, you're not making
So-
all the money and blowing it, but you
Yeah.
put a big value on your money.
And I don't think our family has ever been a very wealthy one.
No.
Right.
Our parents have made wiser choices in their later years.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I meant.
grateful.
That's kind of, I think, was it me and you that said something? I said something about for the money aspect. It doesn't have to mean that like you grew up in wealth, but like how just how it affects you personally. Like even when you get older, like is, you know, not
that
like
really wouldn't be like growing up in wealth, because that would be somebody else's money. This is more like your own money.
yeah,
so
like
this is
how you
focusing
value
on,
yourself.
Value your own money and putting high value on that material things.
Yeah,
And it brings in the emotional passion side. So that's, you know, it sounds like your emotions are tied to that. You feel like you have to
overtime,
work,
overtime.
you know, so there must be playing on your mind at least a little bit.
I cry when I talk about emotions. I
Yeah.
have to like sit back for a minute. I hate it.
Really?
Yep.
That probably
Every
means
time.
you should do it more often.
That's why I don't ask like if someone messes up my order. I'm not gonna like be enraged, but I'll be like,
Really?
I don't want to say like I'm so hungry, like being hangry.
Oh,
Yeah, I get emotional, but I hate talking about them. But that doesn't mean I can't talk about them. You just
Right.
gotta ease into it.
mm-hmm.
It's his first time.
It
It's
is.
his first time. Just ease it in.
Baby steps for me,
Small
please.
tights. Yeah.
Even if it's not emotional, like when I start talking about something I might be passionate about, it'll happen.
All the time.
Mostly.
Yeah.
I'll stop when I get glossy. Like I feel it coming.
That's
Like,
why he
alright, I
doesn't
gotta back
respond
up.
to my messages.
Because he's crying about
We'll
it.
be
Because
in
he's
deep-
a
yeah.
cancer.
Yeah.
That's what you
Yeah.
said to say.
Yeah.
Shut up, you cancer.
We'll be in some deep conversations, and he'll just fall off the side of the earth for a little bit, and then I'll come back and respond. I'm like, it's 6 o'clock at night, and you're back from work. What are you doing?
I need ponder time.
Ponder.
Mia's
Yeah.
yelling at me to play something on the PS4 again.
Yeah.
Yep.
So does that make sense then? Does that make sense in that way then?
I guess so. Like
Yeah.
I can be passionate.
Yeah. What was
He
with the
could be.
emotion thing that we were? How did
The
that?
passion. I just said emotion / passionate because
Oh,
a lot of
okay.
times when people think of emotion, they just think of people that like have outbursts or
Oh, right. Yeah.
cry.
Dramatic.
Or, yeah,
Dramatic,
dramatic.
yeah.
Manic.
Yeah.
But it just really means you feel strongly about something, I think.
Yeah. Well, there's all different kinds of
Um,
emotion.
I hope we all feel something.
There's at
So-
least 5.
We keep
Right.
talking a lot about
Happy,
like
sad,
communication
mad.
and being able to talk and like what you think in your
Angry.
head, right?
Angry. Yeah. Duh.
And that's Mercury,
Vengeful?
which is opposed,
I'm sorry.
which is in an opposition to Uranus over here.
Mm.
I said it like that just for you.
Uranus.
Uranus.
The look in your
Uranus.
face was awesome
It took
too.
me so long to say Uranus.
What was it?
I just kept
What was
saying
that
it
one?
over and over.
Uranus. Come
Uranus?
on, dude.
Or anus. Uranus.
Uranus.
You're on news.
Uranus.
Uranus. Uranus.
Turkeys.
What's this all about? The Canadians are back.
Not again.
What's this all about? All right.
So
So,
yeah, opposition to Uranus over there. Uranus is a planet that is about individuality, and it's asserting individuality to the point of like almost like rebellion. This is, like I don't give a shit who it affects. This is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do it because this is what I have to do. And that's in an opposition with Mercury. So Mercury, all about the mental thinking and everything. It shows almost like a disconnect between the thought processes and then like the individuality of who the person is. That's in the 7th house over here. So it seems like it has to do something with relationships because the 7th house is all about relationships. So it emphasizes asserting individuality in relationships. So it might almost be like that's hard to like kind of stand out in your personal relationships, whatever those are for you.
Mm.
And it's also in a conjunction with Saturn. Saturn is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius, and Uranus is at 28 degrees. So they're almost sitting right on top of each other. They're sitting right next to each other. And Saturn is all about restrictions and limits and barriers and just stopping you from doing things. So the fuck was that?
this is restriction. It's stopping you. Yeah! Stopping you. I don't know.
Sounds like Mike. Except he's taking a dump instead of telling someone to stop.
Why are these so good sometimes?
I don't know. Bud Lights are pretty good, man. That's kind of a staple.
I know, I didn't even get to try that kind.
Oh, you
Oh.
didn't? Well, you can get some more.
Now I have to get some more.
Yeah. Gonna have to get some more.
It's good.
It's
Yeah.
real good.
I saw raspberry and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, raspberry.
Nothing compares.
All right.
To an ice
Well,
cold
we can go through more of this, if you want to. But, I think I'm going to cut it for here for this pod. But,
Okay.
yeah. So, fuck you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah. No. Bring up their Instagram, John. Dude, this was a really fun time. The Caudle Bros. Caudle Bros. Yeah, I
Caudle Bros
like.
music.
Yeah, I like the direction. I like the tutorials, the way they're looking.
I need to
They're
update
engaging.
that thing.
Yeah, you should. Actually, bring up their YouTube, John.
Yeah, YouTube has everything.
Yeah, we know we're leaving Instagram. Like, who cares? So, yeah. Any last words?
I think we'll just let the music speak for itself.
Oh yeah, that's John mutes it.
Let it speak for itself. No one wants to hear it.
Do you have a different take on astrology now?
This was I've never done this, so it was a new experience for me. I didn't realize like the depth that people put into it, and I could see how it's applied to yourself. You know, there's hits and misses.
Yeah.
But a
for
lot
sure.
of things, you know, you put the connection there to yourself. You know, even if maybe something really wasn't there, I don't know. There's a lot of people that I've met that have made me feel like big opposition to it. Like, these people are a little bit off. So, I've never had it in this kind of context. It's way more tame. It's way more, you know, you can talk about things.
Yeah.
You can learn a little bit more about it on this level than maybe reading about it.
And the conversation too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked your points and stuff too.
Yeah,
Or-
I mean, they're conversations that I've had with my wife too.
Right.
I mean, that's why I know most of this stuff, and I think that's what makes me kind of like weary of it, is because as she was reading, 70% of it I felt connected to Mike about, but I also felt like I could relate to 70% of it, even though it's not even my
yeah.
chart. I was born in August 15th, 8 years after.
Turn that.
August 15th.
Pause that, Joe. What is it?
August 15th.
Same
Oh,
birthday.
Really?
Dang.
That's my birthday
Yeah.
too.
So it's
That's
just one
cool
of,
as hell.
so it's just one of those things where
When were you born? What year?
1996.
Oh, 96?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was 90.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where I feel like anyone can relate to a whole lot of things if you try to relate to something.
Right.
So it's like if you took this and just said, this is a Leo's sun chart, this is your star chart, and read it to me, I would be like, yeah, okay, I am passionate.
Yeah.
I do things that I love. Right. I'm my own person. I'm very independent. You know, I'm emotional.
Right.
It's a very introspective activity.
Right. And stuff like that makes you think about yourself. But the fact that I related it as much to me as I do with what I know about Mike was like,
right.
It's just one of those things.
Now
that
imagine going to, you know, somebody that's been doing this for, 30 years, 100 years.
And we only went through a little bit of this. We could sit here. So when I went through with him, it was like an hour and a half. I started here. Yeah. And I went through all 12.
Yeah, she went. Well, yeah, we went through all 12, and then we started getting the triangles. I was asking questions. I got confused, and then I had to go to bed. So then we never got. So yeah, you can get you can make these points very narrowed down and specific to, but we ain't got time for that on the podcast.
Right, for sure.
I just thought it would be cool to, kind of go through it and just see, is there some stuff, that's more relatable than just the daily horoscope readers that, that's the typical meme or the, what's said about astrology. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think there's this real stigma of you know how to read astrology, you know everything about somebody, and that's far from true. And that's kind of what I want to combat, because there's this big almost big-headed view with astrology, I know you're a Leo, so I know you're an asshole. That's not true. And I think that's where a lot of, whether you can prove it or not, whether it's generalized or not, that's fine. When you bring the spiritual aspect into it, you can't prove any sort of spiritual views, you know, and that's where I look at it is from the spiritual aspect.
So there's like
and I just
a
want to
non-denominational version of this. That's what I feel some of these people kind of take it as. Like they're not going as deep as it's intended.
So that's
to
why
be.
I call it pop astrology, because they're just Googling
That makes sense.
what a Leo means. Where I mean I am like total novice level when it comes to astrology, and I have spent hours and hours reading and listening and watching. There is so much into it. So you can't just like jump right into it and really know everything about it. Far from it. There's so many layers to it, and there's so many levels to it. And with it being so general, yeah, this is a birth chart. So this is like your whole entire life. So that's pretty general, right? Average lifespan's what, like 70, 80 years?
70, yeah.
And the
So-
population has changed quite a bit. There's like a lot of people that are going to be, well, what, 1 in 12, 1 in 13 will mathematically be somewhat general with you as far
Yeah.
as the human experience
Yeah.
goes.
So I think the generalness would go away if you went through it, all of it a little bit. Also, just kind of talking through it in dialogue, because it's not a psychic thing. Like you're not just being told something from some other source. You're putting the pieces together and figuring it out. But I think if you put the pieces together and figure it out, I do think it kind of is just a map that just kind of shows you the direction that you could be heading if you want to. It's not even that this is what's going to happen. It's if you decide to do it, because there's free will above everything.
Free Willy.
Amen.
Amen,
Drink
brother.
water to that.
Amen, brother. Since I didn't get a chance to throw that out.
I'm glad you did. Farts still kill me.
Isn't that what Cam said last? I hit it right before we started. He's like, "I hate that'll never not be funny." A fart sound. It's always good. Yeah,
Yeah, the more inappropriate, the better.
it is, right? So 96. So how fucking old are you then?
25.
33.
Yeah, 33. I thought you were older than me. 33, 25.
Yep.
So you're terrorizing that motherfucker with the fucking Bloody Mary shit. Yeah, you
Yeah.
weren't in here for that. Yeah, he terrorized him with the Bloody Mary.
Oh, Bloody Mary. We used to do that shit too.
He'd
My cousins.
he'd also like pin me on the ground and put his bare ass in my face and fart in my nose.
What did you say?
Said bull.
Ungodly. I'd be pooping, and he'd have his friends over, and he'd open the bathroom door and go, "Junior doesn't have a wiener."
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's denying it.
I was
You're
probably
denying
an
it?
asshole.
Mike was a dick.
Damn, man. That was the worst.
And then my sister was a terror, and I'm 4 years older than her, so I'm just stuck in the middle, getting whipped from both ends.
God dang.
It was rough, but it was okay.
Phil in the middle.
But he was there for me when I was a high schooler, so I'll give him that. I used to sneak
Oh,
out of my
shit.
parents' house because he lived close. I remember I was going through a breakup, and he's like, "You want to come over?" And it's like 2 a.m., and I sneak through the back patio door
I
and
was
go
working
in like,
third shift.
yeah. And we go over, and we're like watching Happy Tree Friends, and him and his buddies are like smoking pot, and the whole entire thing is like smoking. And then 4 a.m. comes around, and I sneak back through the patio door, and then wake up at 6 and go to school.
Yeah, dude.
So-
Damn. See, I'd wake up to go to school to leave
Yeah.
because I had to go. I had to look like I was going,
Yeah.
and then just walk in one door and then right back out the other door
You'd go back to sleep, so it
and
wasn't
go back
a
to
big deal.
sleep.
Damn. I don't think I have the balls to even
The
try that. Like, I
nuts.
was an attendance
Oh, really?
freak. I like school. I always went no matter what.
Really?
Yeah.
We had
You
so
same?
many kids that
Yeah.
skipped. We had a skip patrol van.
Yeah. Skip patrol.
They chased
they-
us, and I
Yeah.
had to run because he ran.
Yeah, I'm like, you gotta run. You gotta run from skip patrol. Come on. Yeah, that she would drive around in her van in like probably a 6-block radius of the school, all the way around it. You know, during like break times or before school. You know, just trying to lunchtime, trying to catch the skippers and shit. And then one time she stopped me and my buddy, and I was smoking a cigarette. I was like, fuck.
How old were you?
Under 18.
Okay.
Not supposed to have a cigarette. And then she's just like, what's your name? So, you know, I was in that I don't give a fuck attitude. So I just told her. Then she wrote it down. She's like, I just want to know who my smokers are. And then drove off. I was like, oh,
Okay.
okay. All right. But my buddy lived like right by the school. And he lived with his name was Kyle too, ironically. And he lived with his grandma and grandpa, who were like fucking old, like can't hear shit old. And we would just open his window. They live in like a kind of like a modular home,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And we just open his window to his room and climb through his window, and then like I'd go to sleep in like the closet, and he'd sleep under his bed in case she went in there to get laundry or something. And half the time we'd end up just getting up and like playing Madden and shit. Like there was one time she walked in the room and she's like, "What?" And then we're just like assembly. She's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So we left. Yeah, it was great. It's perfect right there.
Remember when we army crawled out of that place?
Oh,
I don't remember
yeah.
why we couldn't go out the window that time.
Because his
His
dad
dad
was
was
next
probably
door.
outside.
Because his dad also like he didn't have a good relationship with his dad, but his dad lived next door to his grandma and grandpa. Isn't that kind of weird? He
Yeah,
lived with his grandma and
A little
grandpa.
bit.
But yeah, he was like outside or something
that
doing
pine
shit. Doing shit that day. And we had to get out for
We had to leave for some reason.
whatever
I don't
reason.
know.
I don't know why, but we had to leave.
Probably had to go buy some weed.
So probably something like that.
Probably the emergency.
That's probably it. And we like he goes out of his room down the little hallway, and then it's all open out there, and he can see that they're sitting at the couch watching TV. He's like, "All right, this is our chance." So we like literally army crawl. We get to that opening, and right directly across from that opening is a door, like their side door to get out of the house. And then it's all open, and to the left is the living room down a little bit. So we just army crawl to the door, like open up the door really
Three
slowly.
teenagers army crawling across the living room.
They never even knew. Like, they could be robbed so easily. These elderly, man.
Yeah.
The fact it was pulled off.
Yeah, it was pulled off. I got out of there. Yeah. I mean, crazy times, dude. Skipping school is so fun. We'd skip, and there's like this little patch of woods in town. We just go like chill there for sometimes, start a little fire. It's crazy times, man. Skipping. You should have tried it while you could.
It's different in Bay City.
Bay Shitty, how I already shit all over that town earlier in this podcast.
Where'd you go to school there?
Central.
Central? Okay.
Yep. Central
You went there for like a year. That you were actually there.
total, maybe. No, my freshman year was all right, but
That's what I mean, that you were actually there.
yeah.
Student.
Yeah, and then I went to Winona, the adult education school, because I was a super senior. If I would have stayed there, it would have took me like 2.5 years to graduate because I skipped. I just fucking hated school. Well, there was one year where I got in-school suspension, so I had to go to the Boys and Girls Club, and like you basically sat there all day with like nothing to do. You sat there.
Breakfast club style.
It's bad. Everybody's in a gym, and everybody's like at a separate table, and like you might have some of your homework from the day to do, and then like that's it. And I was like, I am not fucking doing that shit. So I skipped the rest of the year. Every day, it was like, I don't know how many months it was. It was like 3 months. I skipped. I didn't go. And everybody said that if you skipped and you didn't complete your ISS, they would make you do it the next year. I'm like, bullshit. So next year, I come back around, and like I got my schedule and everything. But whatever, parents did the thing, or you re-enroll you or whatever. And yeah, I didn't have to do it, but Yeah, dude. That was
And then you skipped
hardcore.
that all next year. That you were ready to roll.
Too.
You
Just not enough
kept
to
not
get
going.
just not enough to get in school suspension. You know, we'd have to watch the phone call because there'd be an automated phone call that would go home to say, you know, you were absent that day, so you'd have to get there to the voicemail to like delete it, so the parents didn't know.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
I couldn't miss. I had that like mental. I had to be there. Take care of it.
I was
Really?
there enough to keep my grades up, and then gone just enough to
It was more lax my senior year, but
balance it.
Balance it
I
out.
skipped my senior year.
You skipped a lot.
No, I
Oh,
skipped the entire thing.
You didn't have to do it.
Yeah, no.
You had enough credits.
I
or whatever.
I needed 2.5 credits to finish, but I needed a math credit, an English credit, and a health credit. Each one in my school was a whole credit for math, a whole credit for English, and health was a half a year class, so it would have fulfilled a half credit, and they would not let me just take those classes. And I was like, I don't want to do this. And my mom was like, okay, fine. And she wrote up a homeschool document saying I had completed those classes and got a general education certificate from Michigan.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
I didn't want to go back, man. I had learned everything I could. Like junior year was a breeze for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was one of those kids who like screwed up the curve for everyone else and everyone hated me. It was like it was like the teacher would be like, all right, I'm giving a curve on this exam. And then I'd get 100%, and he'd be like, "There's no curve anymore." Phil got 100%. And everyone's like,
Yeah.
you know, like
fuck
they're like,
you.
"Wow, dude." and it was just at that, like I had done the thing. I was,
Yeah.
you know, one
you're
of those
committed.
people who knew how to take tests. Right.
Right, yeah,
I
that
probably
too.
couldn't. The only information I've really retained is like some math, really. But I knew how to get enough good grades on my homework, and I knew how to take tests really well.
Right.
And that was weighted a lot. And
That's
so
the problem with our
at-
public school
yeah,
system
and
is
that
they
really
just
is.
all you have to do is study
Test
to
well.
test.
right, and at that
Test
point
well.
I was
You already
like,
said you
yeah.
didn't retain half the information.
Yeah.
You were like one of the top in your class.
Yeah.
like,
Clearly.
yeah. And it just there was nothing for me left to do except some dumb English project,
Yeah.
senior exit project that they would want me to do that I didn't want to do.
Right.
I skipped mine as well.
I watched.
Did you?
I'm not writing 40 fucking pages. Like, I gave you my time. Like, I signed off on that.
Is that really how it was?
What was it that you had to do?
I went
40
to,
pages?
I went
We
to
didn't-
Kersley High School in Flint for up until my junior year. And then I went to a private school, like a private Christian school.
Uh-huh.
And the curriculum was not of a public school level. So it was just stupid easy.
Huh.
I didn't have to do much effort.
But a 40-page...
But
What?
that was their thing. Like, to graduate, you have to do a 40-page paper.
Senior exit
Oh, no.
project.
Yeah.
We just had to do our head of our
Senior
credits.
exit project. Holy shit.
Yeah.
See, but wait,
Kersley made us do that, and it was like a PowerPoint, and we had to do an essay. And
You had to
like,
present it to people,
Yeah,
like
you
a
had to
group of your
present-
peers.
I watched my
Said,
buddy
"Fuck
present
that."
his senior exit project, and I was like, I'm so glad I didn't come here. 'Cause he lied the whole way through it too. None of it was true.
Did you
have a senior exit
project,
That's like something you have to do in college. Like you have to
A
write your thesis
dissertation?
at the end
Yeah.
or
Did
something.
Did you have one,
like-
John?
For a master's,
No?
right?
Yeah, like not high school.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And he talked about how he loved scuba diving. He had gone scuba diving once. And he talked about how he did it in all 5 Great Lakes. He did it in Lake Michigan. Right? And he talked to he's been to Lake Superior twice and all this nonsense. And,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting there trying to retain a straight face. The dude's been my friend since 4th grade, right? So we're friends for 8 years, and he's saying all this stuff in this huge, long PowerPoint presentation that isn't even true. And we get out and I'm like, how did you even come up with that?
Right. Yeah, no shit.
I'm like, what?
No shit.
I'm like, I'm so glad I skipped out on this.
Phew.
You know, and then I tried to go to college after that. After I'd worked for a year. So
Yeah.
I got out of high school, got to skip my senior year thanks to my mom, went out and found a job. and tried to go to college. And like, I went to the Art Institute of Michigan down in Novi, and it was okay for the first like 3 quarters. And then we really got into the meat of prerequisites. And they were like, you have to take an art class, but the only one it was art or history. And they were like, but the only one we have available is like medieval architecture.
What?
And I'm like, and I'm going to school for audio, like learning how to mix and master and doing like all that stuff. And I'm like, why do I have to take a prereq in this?
Gargoyle Beets.
Yeah.
How does that even
And-
pertain?
Yeah.
And I flunked out of that quarter. I was so pissed that I had to take something that was so arbitrary
Yeah.
that I flunked out, and then I never went back to college again, because it just that set like in motion in my mind that college is just useless. Like, you can learn all the skills you need to on the internet.
Yeah. You sure as hell can. Or just go to a trade school.
Yeah,
To where you can learn something useful.
I would recommend that to anybody
Yeah.
now that I know.
Learn a trade.
Yeah. Like,
It's going to benefit you
spend the
far
time
much
and
more.
money investing into a trade knowledge
Yeah.
and go out there and ride it. Keep learning.
Yep. I mean, you just switched to CAD,
Yeah.
which is kind of like a trade.
Yeah. I'm going to rock the shit.
Yeah, and you
It's
could
going
have
to be fun.
with
coulda
actual
went-
money in it. That's the thing. It's
But
not
from the
useless.
start, you could have just went to like a. Isn't there like trade schools for CAD, or is it you have to go to college for CAD?
I was the guy that listened to people all around him say, "Oh, it's oversaturated market. There's no money in it. Why would you do that?"
Why
So-
would I
so
be sitting here
expensive.
doing this? What 3.5
I mean-
million some podcasts?
I mean, it's the same for us.
Yeah, music.
There's
How many?
countless numbers
How
of
many
people out
was
there
it's
doing
like
it.
six? How many thousands of songs are uploaded to Spotify a day? I forget the number now, but it was.
Probably a lot.
It was
I can't
crazy.
perceive how much music there's in the
Yeah.
world.
60,000. I want to say some songs.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
what I
roll
wanna
with
say.
it, because I mean, it
Yeah.
sounds right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
but yeah, you listen to all them say it's oversaturated, so you didn't go to it.
Yeah, and it's too much money. That's always what had scared me. It's like the cost of things.
Because you value money so much.
You gotta.
You really do.
When you grow up without a lot of it, you kind of
Yeah. No, yeah, you do.
money is
Huh.
a determining factor in a lot of things.
My philosophy is it's just it'll work out. I've gone without money for so long.
Most
It-
times it has. I agree.
You know, like just like bare bones, nothing. I'm just like, it'll work out. It takes me a long time. She'll attest to that for me to freak out about a money problem. You know,
Yeah,
So-
that's my worst anxiety, I think.
but yeah, let's wrap this up. This was fun.
it was.
I'm
I
glad you
enjoyed
guys
it.
like made the trip all the way out here. I
Yeah.
appreciate anybody making the trip from. I've had quite a few people come from the east side.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing.
You've
Well,
had
West-
Lee Roach out here, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah.
He's-
Pestle and Age, him and Taylor.
He's like another 45 minutes east of where I'm located. So
Right.
he's driving damn near 3 hours.
Is that Imlay or?
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep, out there in the thumb.
We got a lot of friends together.
Yeah, yeah, dude. This was fun.
Thank you.
Good time.
Thank you. It was fun being on.
Yeah, I'm glad we could do the chart and do everything.
Episode
Covered it all.
93. your
93,
first
right?
time.
I think 93.
Is that what it is? 93?
Yeah, I think Cam's done 92, but I'll double check. But yeah, we'll go 93.
I might have to ask everyone to leave the room so I can
I'll let her take a picture.
Problem with pills?
Is that our future? Is that what we're slowly getting to? Like the brains just can keep. Those are rams, right? I thought they had horns.
Honestly, I'm